Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final live stream of the, the Meanings in Writings Kanji series.
はい、皆さんようこそ。
I'm glad that you guys enjoyed Yuki's little spider. Apparently,
ね、
today is, It's Save the Spider Day or
そう
Spider Day.
そうなんですよ。2週間前にね、教えてくれたんですね、みんなが。
Yeah, you guys told us about Spider Day a couple of weeks ago. It's also White Day. White Day. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago as well, but it's the day that you give back double or triple or whatever it is that someone gave to you on Valentine's Day. So yeah.
何もなんか普通のやつでいいと思います。ノーマル。
just giving back. Yeah. She thinks it's not necessary to give 3 times, but just returning what you received on Valentine's Day. I'm going to have to find some pie tomorrow. Thanks for the reminder.
Oh.
Wait, what's Pie Day? I've never heard of this. Congrats on getting us through the whole series, you two. Yeah, thank you guys for sticking it out with us.
ありがとうございます。
I forgot about Spider Day and I killed a spider this morning. Oh no. Oh no.
あ、大丈夫。まだね、
tomorrow for you.
13日じゃないまだ。
Yeah, so it's the 14th, I believe. So you're good. It's the 13th. So over here it's the 14th, which is both White Day and Spider Day. So you're safe. Kaylee, how's it going? So glad I didn't miss the last meeting stream. Yes.
そうなんだ。パイデイなの今日。ちょっとミスったわ、これ。パイにする、
Nice
この
job,
人。
Alex.
ありがとうございます。みん
Oh,
な。
right. 314. Duh. Pie Day. That makes sense.
あ、
The
そのパ
14th
イか。
is...
そのパイか。
But because it sounds the same as pie, people eat pie on Pie Day.
なるほどね。そうだったんだ。
That makes
パイデイだったん
sense.
だ。間違えちゃったね、じゃあ。
That makes total sense. Maybe we'll have to have some pie, although we've got a lot of cookies from White Day today, so...
そう。
wait.
こうでしょ、パイ。
I think Yuki's drawing a pie. So that's pie. Yeah. Maybe if the spiders gave me pie, I would like them more.
And pie day.
Definitely. I also have a fear of spiders, though it's gotten better since, I'm married to her and she really likes spiders.
So
I always let them outside. I make it a point to try and not kill bugs even that I hate. I catch them and throw them outside, which helps, but also, they catch bugs and stuff for us, and I try to let them go. But I'm not a big fan. Spiders give you fly pie. They do indeed. Spiders are our friends, Amanda. I don't want that pie, sis.
まあ、すいませんね。皆さん怖い人がいたのに、ちょっと目減らしとく？
I see. Well, actually in Japan, I think they put the month first as well. 何？
スパイダーが怖い人のために、何を減らせばなんか怖くなくなるのかなと。
Nothing that would not make them less scary, I don't think. I thought it was a crab at first, said Colin. Oh, it's one of those jumping spiders. I do not have enough knowledge to be here, only 5 days into my language learning journey, but I wanted to take the chance to thank you for how instrumental you've been in getting my journey started. You're very welcome, Dolphin. I hope that you continue to find it enjoyable. Oh, there's the water drop on top. All right, and I forgot to ask because I said it in text before. Thank you, Amanda, for becoming a member again. If there's anything you'd like Yuki to draw for you, please let us know. There was also someone at the beginning of the premiere, last night when I put it live, who became a member. I forget the person's name. David Holden, if you're here, let us know and we'll draw your name in kanji for you. I kind of doubt they're here, but if they are. So thank you so much. Let us know. May I ask for a name? Of course you may. I was once a spider handler for a low-budget film. Had to make sure he was being well treated. Really? That's wild. I never killed daddy long leg spiders. Okay, fair enough. That's my boyfriend. Daddy long legsの方が怖くない? No, I also have no problem with daddy long legs. Technically, they're not spiders, right? Daddy long legs. I think they only have 6 legs.
そう。だからほらやっぱりさ、1本なくせばさ、こちらも。
No, it's the thickness of the legs and the bodies that are weird. The daddy long legs are this little dot with like really long, cute, spindly legs. So I don't find those scary at all. You just grab them by the leg and throw them outside.
はい。アマンダさんありがとうございます。オードリーかな読み方が。
Oh, where to go?
ここ。
Audrey. オードリー。そうだね。
オードリーヘッドバーンのオードリーですよね。
そう、それ。
はい、了解です。
はい。She says Audrey means noble strength. She's fairly quiet, but also a wonderful artist and a writer.
OK。わかりました。ちょっと頑張ってみます。
Depends. Some places daddy long legs are a different arachnid. In other places, they can refer to a cellar spiders. Ah, yeah, okay. Cellar spiders I'm not a big fan of. I know what you're talking about. They have the long legs that kind of stick out in front. But the ones back like in the northeast of America that just have the big legs that look like well, they kind of look like the whatever the main bad guy in Stranger Things. That's in the Upside Down. Kind of looks like that, eh? This is a regional thing. Some people call crane flies daddy long legs, but there's a spider with 8 legs that looks similar and is called a daddy long legs. Interesting. Okay, so it's regional. Daddy long legs. Let's see what Google gives us. Okay, yeah, so these are not what I think of as daddy long legs when I look up on Google. If we just pop this up. So, like, this is not quite it. This is, you see these more in Japan, these ones making cobwebs and stuff. This is what I think of as a daddy long leg, this guy. These guys I do not find scary at all. Although it looks like this one has, no, it has 6 legs and then the two big things. So these are the ones I think of as daddy long legs, eh? These guys. They're kind of cute.
ちょっと too long じゃないですか。
But this one, not a big fan of this. This is just a regular old spider.
それキャビネットに飼ってるやつです。
Ah, yeah, there's one of these in our cabinet that Yuki won't let me put outside. Golden web orb weavers.
うわ
Oh, yeah,
ちょ
yeah,
っと
yeah.
これはね、
Yeah.
さすがにノーセンキュー。
Yeah, not a big fan of these. There's a lot of these in around here. They get really, really big.
おーちょっと怖いよね、これは。
A little bit, yeah, a little
う
bit.
ん
There are also harvest men known as daddy long legs. The one you aren't afraid of is opiliones. Okay, that makes sense. I went to the bug zoo in Victoria, British Columbia, and had a tarantula walk on my arm, and also a huge African beetle 8 inches long. Look up the bug zoo online. Cool place. Oof.
タランチュラは毒があるんじゃないの？
Tarantulas? I don't know.
毒を持ってるんですよね。
I think the ones that are people take care of, either they have the poison removed or they don't have poison at all. I'm not sure.
なんかポイズンがないんだったらさ、ね、いいんじゃないですか？
Yeah, no way. No, tarantulas, no, I'm not cool. I'm not too big on those either. I'm guessing this is the place you're talking about, Grammy, right here. Bug Zoo. Nick Baker's Bug Zoo.
うわ、やばいな、
These
これは。
guys would be fine. I wouldn't have a problem with these, but no thank you, tarantulas. Not a fan of that.
さ、アニマルクロッシングにさ、結構いろんなバグが出てくるじゃん。
Yeah, I don't mind catching bugs in Animal Crossing. That's different.
ね、あれにさ、なんかフラワーマンティスとかさ、なんかバイオリンビールみたいなものがいて、それ日本にはいないと思うんですけど、あれいいよね、見たいそれ。
She's saying that some of the bugs in Animal Crossing are not in Japan, and she'd like to see some of them, like the violin beetle and stuff. I like spiders too, and was taught by my mom not to kill them. My mom is Japanese too, and always talked about respecting living things, etc. I know lots and lots of people who kill spiders, but people who like them and think, they will kill the mosquitoes and stuff in the house. There's lots of people like that. All over the place, I think. I don't kill them, but I put them outside. But even though I don't want them in the house. Not a big fan of that. I hate when you go to like a campsite and they've got the outhouses and they're just filled with giant spiders all over the place. Like, how do you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night when there's like 6 spiders just chilling out on top in the corners?
それは怖いね。
Nope. Even though I know they're catching the mosquitoes in the bathroom for me. Yeah, the tarantulas in Animal Crossing are very scary. Amanda said they have wild tarantulas in Texas, and okay, we used to live in Texas, and one day I saw one crossing the street, picked it up and put it on the side. I was headed towards Nope.
よかったね。これでさ、私たちさ、今年の、ハロウィンのさ、話題がさ、あるね、それぞれ。あなたはスパイダー、私はデンティスト。
The things we're scared of.
スケアリーストーリーするんだよね。あれ違うの？
Scary Stories is just for like camping and stuff like that. Not really Halloween. Although I guess you can do that. I'm completely comfortable with picking up spiders barehanded and helping them outside, but that definitely freaks out some people. Yeah. I've gotten better with spiders and my family asked me to get rid of them, but I still not me gusta. Japan has a huge spider crab. Yeah, there is a giant spider that you can sometimes find in the house. A lot of people don't get rid of them because they're pretty like, they don't really come out when you can see them, and they do eat lots of bugs. They'll even eat like mice and stuff. They're huge. But no, definitely no. No way. I take my first Japanese course as an Asian studies minor in college. My journey begins then in learning Japanese to fluency. Sounds good, Jonathan. I hope you have a great time with it. I had to fight with tarantulas all the time in Haiti with a broom made from banana leaves. Do I get a banana for that? Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness. That sounds frightening. Let's see if we can get one. There you go. Yuki, can you write the kanji for spider, please? Oh, yeah, probably.
難しい。なんか見てもいいですか？これカンニンガーリ。
She's asking if she can cheat. She has to look it up. It's a very hard kanji. I can't write it either. I'm now watching the Quartet series just to thank you a lot for the grammar lessons that you're making. You're very welcome. After the kanji series, we're going back and we're going to be redoing all of the grammar, hopefully. Probably as videos. Yo.
ここだけ。
You're very welcome. All right, Yuki's gonna draw a spider for you guys. And then we'll jump into the video and she can work on Odori's name.
はい。オードリーズネームいきますね。ちょっと待ってね、オードリーさんは。まず雲を描きます。
雲ね。
うん。雲ね。先に雲を描いておいて。
All good, all good.
これ汁か。右が汁だこれ。
そうなんだ。
うん。
ああ、
虫辺にね。
はいはいはいはい。
で、これが虫辺にこの赤いっていう字。これが雲です。
So that's the word. So the full one.
雲。
That's hiragana. Kumo.
で、これがね。
So it's bug with to know. Did we cover to know or is that an N4? That's an N4, right? Yeah, we haven't done the arrow yet. N4 だよね、shiru. The right side. We'll cover the right side of this in N4. So really you'll know all the parts for this. No, you won't know this part. This part doesn't show up till quite a bit later. But bug, and this is to know or to understand. And this is なんだっけ? 赤だよね。
このこういう字ね。
これ Yeah, it's also is that one in kabu?
株は木偏にこっちが
株式の株 Yeah, okay. So it's using stocks. First live stream I've made it to here, and I love the system of having one of you speak English and the other Japanese. Very smart way of helping people follow the stream at any level of language ability. Yeah, we like having that split. I try to translate what Yuki's saying as much as possible, but it's also nice to have both languages for those of you who are trying to get some extra exposure. Eat fried tarantula or have one crawl all over you. Neither. But oh god, that's a hard decision. Probably let it crawl all over me. Maybe that would help me get over my fear a little bit, more so than eating it would. Probably. Question, Mr. ToKini Andy. How do you find out an official radical of a kanji? Sorry if it's a stupid question. Not a stupid question at all. I use a dictionary. So Japanese, well, pretty much any dictionary will have it. Even like English to Japanese dictionaries like jisho.org and stuff like that. I use a few, 2 or 3 native Japanese kanji dictionaries. What the someone's like someone's like singing at the top of their lungs outside. Oh. Yeah, I think it's just kids coming back from the deaf and blind school nearby. Anyway, phew. Yeah, so it's listed in any dictionary when you look up the kanji. It's okay. These mics don't pick up anything but my voice, really. Like, there's lots of sound in here. There's a heater going on behind us and stuff, and you can look at the computer, but they're very good at just picking up her voice. Anyway, yeah, so it'll list the official what do you call it? The official radical. So if I were to pull up the dictionary that I use, I'll pick one up on my phone and just look up the dictionary for or the kanji for spider, for example. So I'll pick up this elementary school kanji dictionary, and I'll type in the word kumo. We'll pick one of those kanji. We'll just do the first one. And then here is a dictionary entry for that. And if we were to look at the right side over here, right below the actual kanji, it lists the official radical as insect. So the kanji for, or the radical for insect is the official radical. You probably can't see that, I'm sorry. But you can see the little radical for insect down on the bottom and the number of strokes. And that is the official radical. But you can break it down, obviously, into more parts. This is the part for bug or insect, and this is the part for to know. So those are the two parts that I'd break it down into. But the official radical is one that exists and is listed in dictionaries. So I don't make that up. I need that mic. Yeah, it's wonderful. But it's a little bit of a pain in the neck because you have to have like a audio interface and a bunch of extra cables and stuff. Like, this is not USB audio interface, and then like it's analog, so then you need like a booster to make it loud enough for the computer. So there's a lot of stuff you need to make this work, but it's worth it if you're making lots of videos or podcasts and stuff, because audio is the most important thing. Watching cute videos helped my friend with arachnophobia. That and having a son that loves spiders. Oh, I could see that. Singing at the top of their lungs sounds like me. Some neighbor kid was meowing at my cats the other day. It sounded like a cat was dying until I heard the cat talk and realized it was the neighbor's kid. I see it. Thank you for your explanation. You're very welcome. We have 4 and one of them talks a lot. And we meow back at her. How often are you live? Every week. Every week at this time.
はい。お待たせしました。
Hi, okay, we've got Audrey's name. Excuse me. Sorry, I picked the wrong thing. I picked the wrong
I can't hear you.
Yeah, no, we're good now.
Oh,
you can
okay.
hear us now. Okay, so what Yuki was saying was that we'll let her say it in Japanese again.
はい。皆さん失礼しました。オードリーさんは、3文字選びました。O とドとリーです。
Right.
で、O が、桜っていう漢字で O にしました。
So the first kanji is O with the extension of O included in it, and that is for sakura or cherry blossoms.
はい。で、ドっていう字はこれ努力のドっていう字で、working hard とか to put effort っていう意味です。
That's the one, working hard.
はい。で、リーっていう字はこれ、いつもそのラピスラズリの違う漢字をルーで出してるんだけど、これね、ルーとリー両方ラピスラズリの意味があって、でこのリーっていう字がね、もうちょっとこれもラピスラズリっていうその宝石ジェムの意味があるんですけど、プラスもうちょっとエレガントとかグラシーみたいな意味があって、女の子の名前によく使われます。
So a kanji that she often uses for lapis lazuli that she really likes. This is a different version of that, and this one is often used for girls' names, and it also has a meaning of not just lapis lazuli, the blue gem, but also like elegance or like a glassy surface, things like that. So we've got sakura, working hard, and an elegant, glassy surfaced lapis lazuli. So that's Audrey's name.
はい。
Thank you very much again
ね、
for
ちょっと
becoming a
ね、
member.
そう、意味をくれたんですけど、
うん。
ちょっとだけしか、このどうだ
まあね。
けしかちょっと当たらなかったんですけど、ごめんね。
All good, all good. Hi, okay. The music is
Hi.
the explanation, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. I created this for the new the starting soon screen because I wanted to have I always forget to show Yuki's picture in the beginning, so I figured we'd just show it before he actually started today. But anyway. Hi.
はい。
All right. So I think it's about time for us
Hi.
to get started on the actual video. So why don't we go ahead and pop that up? That's going to be right here.
はい。じゃあ、この雲は消しますね。
Hi, bye bye, Kumo-chan. Do you guys want to see him one last time before we say goodbye?
あ、
See ya.
ちょっと2アップか？
Oh, we got to zoom out a little bit.
まあ、アップでもいいですけどね。
See you later.
パイに変えました。
Changed it to pie. He's holding a pie. Let's learn some stuff. Yes.
Hi.
Lazuli reminds me of DBZ, Android 18. I don't know what that is. I've only read the original series and only the first few books so far. But anyway. All right. So.
はい。レッスンに行きたいと思います。
On to the video we go. The final video of this series. Love the intro Dan did here. Firecrackers in chat for Dan's intro. Welcome to the 23rd ToKini Andy Kanji lesson. This is the final meaning and writing video for the whole N5 series. Yeah, very sad about Akira-san.
ねえ、ほんとショックだったね。
Everyone was very surprised. It came out of nowhere.
ねえ、もういきなりだもんね。
Very sad about that. But would like to do some kind of like a memorial of some sort, but I don't have any Dragon Ball content.
やばい、
And
私ピッコロを
the only Dragon Ball I have is on Kindle. So anyway, all right, on we go. From the next video, we're going to start covering words so that you can actually read all the kanji that we've learned so far. Didn't he write Chrono Trigger? I thought he was like the main, him and the, I thought he made Chrono Trigger.
そうなの？クロノトリガーって？
Yeah, all of the character design looks just like is his. So he did it looks very much like what do you call it?
本当だ。
Dragon Warrior, not Dragon Warrior. What is it? Dragon Quest. He did Dragon Quest characters, all of that. I think he did some of the story as well, or if not all the stories. And he did all the Chrono Trigger stuff as well, I
本
think.
当だ。デザイナーは
He was the
鳥
designer.
山
Okay.
明にな
So
って
he
る
was the
ね。
designer.
うん
He might not have written the story. And he's the designer for Dragon Quest as well, and for all the Dragon Ball series. I have Chrono Trigger on my DS, and I want to go back and play it. I've only played the intro, but I've never played through it all the way. So that's exciting. For our last meaning and writing episode in N5, we're going to cover the meaning, building blocks, writing, historical evolution where applicable, and a story to memorize each of the following 6 kanji. 6 kanji for today. We'll also learn the parts and radicals needed for those kanji. Today, there's only one new part. And stick around to the end of the lesson where we'll be doing a quick quiz to help everything stick. By the way, check the pinned comment below this video to see why we are not learning readings for each kanji just yet. Until next week. Until the next lesson, at least. Which is next week. I bet you're trying to divine what the first pun for today will be. I mean, the first kanji. Well, despite looking like the katakana to, this is a part that means fortune telling. Technically, it's also a kanken level pre-1 kanji, so it has its own radical, which is itself. You probably didn't need to be a fortune teller to figure that one out, though. It's also its only part. There are 2 simple strokes in fortune telling. We start with the vertical stroke, and then angle down a single straight line from around or just above the middle of the first stroke. Historically, this has always been a pictograph of a burned cow bone or turtle shell, except that right here it just took like a turn to the, I don't know, something completely different. Looks like circle. Used for divination and fortune telling back in the day. I kind of see a mark that you might find on a Viking rune. But let's see if we can find that one. I don't think it's, but it's kind of like this one or this one. It looks very much like here. Like the first time I saw this, I was like, oh, that's a rune. That's a straight up rune. Honestly, same idea, so either way works. Beyond the rune I mentioned, I can also see this. Pictograph of a divination or fortune-telling rod. Yeah, and then if you put the line through it, it's like maru, like circular. So it looks exactly like that kanji. Remember that it's a good idea to pause the video after each story and really try to imagine it, or to create a story of your own that will help you remember the kanji even better. Make sure the story contains the meaning and every single part in some way. All right, but that's not a kanji. Now that this part of the kanji, I mean, it is sometimes, but we're not covering it as a kanji, so we won't be writing this one down just yet. The series is nearly over. Maybe I can go outside once in a while for a change. Probably not. Honestly, probably not. But this kanji means outside. The official radical for... I say I can never go outside, but I go outside plenty. Like, we just did the Shimanami Kaido. We rode bikes with Yuki's parents across 7 bridges that connect the main island of Japan to Shikoku. That was fun. Exhausting. And I got food poisoning. That was good.
はい。お尻が痛くなりました。
And it was the first time it snowed in Shikoku.
あ、そう。
our first day of bike riding.
そうだね。
And we managed to get the first day of snow ever. So it was quite cold. But it was fun. For outside is evening. But we can break it down further into the parts evening and fortune telling. There are 5 strokes in outside. We start with evening on the left, drawing the no stroke. Yeah, it's like an 80-kilometer bike ride, so I should have mentioned that part as well. Followed by the fu part. We then draw the dot inside of it, making sure to not cut through the fu. Next, we draw the vertical stroke on the right side, making sure to stop short, not... Funny thing about this is, I don't think when I wrote it, I ever wrote the line on the right so long. I never realized it was so much longer, so that's interesting. Sweep down the bottom of the stroke. We then draw, but it looks nice, the final drop connected to this vertical stroke from around or just above the middle on the right. Depending on the computer font, you may sometimes see the last stroke here cutting through the vertical stroke, but in general, it's gonna be just attached to it. The kanji, I don't know if maybe like the Chinese version of it is more like that or not, but yeah, there's a few fonts that do that. Outside can also mean things like to... There's a moon there, which is what originally evening looked like. It was just a moon. Miss the mark, or to be different, or other. One explanation I read for the history of outside was that while fortune-telling usually occurred during the day, this indicated doing it at night, thus the evening part, which was outside the norm, or different. Also, I imagine if they're burning cow bones, they do it outside. Another source stated the right side part in this kanji had nothing to do with fortune telling, but who knows? So yeah, like, it's not just outside of a house. It's also things like outside of the norm or like an outsider, things like that. So, or for example, the word for foreigner has gaijin, gaikokujin, so it's outside person. So it's just literally that. So it can be, I mean, I guess the English word outside can also be used in that way, but just keep in mind that this kanji's meaning is also just like that. We are going to use it for our story, though. The fortune tellers only go outside with their fortune-telling rods in the evening, ideally before dark, because that's the most magical time. I was gonna say, that's a weird brother we got going there. Hit the like button for Twilight, like actual Twilight. Not the books or movies. Or because you like the video. It really helps. Or so I hear. All right, so let's go ahead and get writing. Make sure I choose the right one with our voices on it this time. All good, all good, all good. All right.
はい。早速書いていきたいと思います。
お願いします。Yeah, so Yuki's line on the right definitely goes taller. Starts above and below the and goes below the evening on the left. So I'll have to try that in my version. Yuki, can you zoom that camera in just a little bit right over there? Not that one. The one on the right.
あ、これか。
Yeah, just a little bit. So. 合ってる。どう Andy's?
うん、いいんじゃない？ わかりやすいんじゃないでし
A
ょう
little bit
か。
squished together. But
いいでしょ
all right, time for the first Turbo Yuki of this lesson.
う。はい。そう、確かにね、ここ私ちょっとはみ出ちゃったけど、まあ許してください。
She said, yeah, she came out a little bit side, but please forgive her.
はい。まあちょっとね、はみ出してもね、まあ怒られません。怒られませんとか。
Ooh.
あ、やばい、超はみ出すね、これ。
Yeah, the fast version
ターボ
definitely
モード
definitely
めっ
sticks
ち
out
ゃ
quite a bit.
あ、ちょっとはみ出させんようにするね。
Interesting.
あの
And this
さ、
doesn't look. It looks like one
そ
part for
う
sure.
これね、この私が小学校だった時、
When she was in elementary school,
みんなこれをね、このカタカナのタととで覚えました。
so she memorized this when she was in elementary school as the katakana ta and to,
そう
which is exactly what it looks like. So that's perfectly fine.
そうだけどさ、これさ、タとって読むとさ、外じゃなくなっちゃうじゃん。
So then it becomes tato.
そうだからここがね、こういう風に来たら本当はここが一角なんだけど、これでそう
Ah, so she thought of this part as so. This part is so, to. And then this is like a little extra part put on. That's how she memorized it.
そう、ま
As
あ、
for
本
the
当はタとだけどね、外です。ここね。
as for the reason gaikokujin versus gaijin, why gaikokujin is more polite is because gaijin on its own with the kanji outside in person makes it sound like they're an outsider. They're outsiders. But gaikokujin makes it a little bit more polite in that it's a person from a different country. It's not that they're outsiders so much. It's just that they come from a different country. So that putting the country in the middle is a little more, I don't know, little less othering. It's a little more factual. It's like, okay, that person was born in a separate country, whereas an outsider is just like, I don't know where they're from, but they're not from here. So that's what the difference is there with the actual kanji and words and what the meaning changes. If that makes any sense. Some people, for what it's worth, some foreign nationals that live in Japan, even dislike the word gaikokujin. I don't care one way or the other. It's fine. Like it's a fact. I was not born in Japan. I'm not from Japan. Yeah, and that's fine. I am a gaikokujin, so whatever. But some people don't like it, so that's something to keep in mind. Turbo left side looks like a 7 when people sometimes write a line through their 7. Yeah, it does kind of, indeed. Thanks, Chris. We missed doing the stream as well. We thought about doing it, but we figured we wanted to be in the studio for the final live stream of this part of the series. We thought of bringing our laptops and setting up a weird camera on a desk in a hotel, but it was just like, that's not going to be as good. So this might be a stupid question, but I'm new here. Are these kanji lessons on radicals? We include the radicals and the parts, so we teach those as well, but we're also teaching the kanji together with them. And then from next week, we're doing words to learn the 118 kanji that we've learned so far. So we've learned 118 kanji. It's wild. In high school, my final year, we had a student teacher who was not native, but excellent in Japanese. He said when he went to Japan, kids would point at him and say, gaijin, gaijin. Yeah, kids always do that. I mean, they're kids. I don't know. And he'd point back and go, Nihonjin, Nihonjin. That's kind of funny. That's kind of, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that from now on. Kids are always like, oh, gaijin. I'm going to say, oh, Nihonjin. That's really good. I'm going to do that too. In the U.S., a lot of international universities call foreign students international students. Yeah, it's similar to that.
そのさ、外人って呼ぶことに対して結構面白いなって思ってるところが、その、外人とか外国人っていうその言葉の違いじゃなくて、日本人は日本人以外の人のことを全員外人とか外国人って思ってるから、だから自分がね、他の国に行った時にも、ね、自分が外国人になってるって気がついてないのね。
So she's saying that what she finds funny funny about the word gaijin and gaikokujin is that Japanese people in general, especially from childhood or when they're kids, they don't think of it as like a person that is from a different country. That's not how they think of it. They just think anyone that's not Japanese is a gaikokujin or a gaijin. So when they go to a foreign country, they don't realize that at that time that they're a gaijin. They're still calling, wow, there's so many gaijin, but they're in the other country, not realizing that they're the... So yeah, and that I think is part of the reason why a lot of people who are foreign born in Japan don't like it, because what they feel like the person is saying is, oh, there's a person who's not Japanese, and so like the meaning is slipped a bit, I guess. But some people don't like that. Some people find it funny. It just depends on your perspective, I guess.
でも日本人はちょっと面白いよね。
So I like that response. I'm going to start doing that. In high school, my final year, we had a student teacher who was not native but excellent in Japanese. Oh, yeah, okay. We just read that. Okay.
はい。じゃあ読み方、how to type やらなきゃですね。
Yep, we got to do how to type. This one's easy. You can just use the word for outside, which is soto. So, hit the space bar.
外やる
Nope.
でも今のその外人は外人これ出てくるね。
Yes, of course. You can also, the word gaijin will also get it for you, and then you just get rid of the jin. But,
まあ外国人の方がベターですね。
Right. But remember, in this lesson, we're not teaching you the readings or all the words just yet. That's for the next set of lessons. We're just teaching you the fastest way that you can type it so that you can participate in the quiz later in the lesson. So always remember that. We're not teaching you the readings of the kanji just yet. We're just teaching you a quick, easy way to type it so that you can participate in the quiz later. I've been watching a YouTuber, and she has interviewed some people who are Japanese, but one parent wasn't. Yet they were born in Japan, and the struggles they faced. Yeah, those are those type of people, the people who look not Japanese, but were born here and are technically and have Japanese citizenship and everything. They tend to have more struggles than random me who showed up 10 years ago. Some people dislike how like even if you were to nationalize and become a Japanese citizen, nobody will ever refer to you as Japanese. Like if you were to move to America and become an American, you're an American. In Japan, it doesn't quite work out that way, unfortunately. I mean, you are technically Japanese if you get a Japanese passport, but you will not necessarily be treated as a Japanese person, because what gaijin means is you're not racially Japanese. So that's where people really get sort of hung up on it, I think. But anyway, enough of that. We now know how to type this word. Here we go. Vocab deck is the next one, right? What's the Anki format like? Well, you'll see in the next lesson. It's mostly sentences. I'm a bit overwhelmed to learn kanji and start vocabulary. Where should I start? My Anki decks you recommend or website? Through your recommendation, learned hiragana and katakana. It's really fun. You can use this series for learning kanji, and vocab will be starting soon. We've also got a deck on our website for kanji. We're working on a deck for vocabulary that is actually, we're done writing all the sentences, doing the final checks now. So there will be a vocab deck on our website soon. But I have a deck that I recommend on my free Japanese resources video. You can find a link on there for an Anki deck that has the first 2,000 most common words in Japanese that can be a good starting point. All right, so let's jump back into the video.
Hi.
Or because you like the video. It really helps, or so I hear. Winter is coming from the north. Well, it's already here, actually. I'm glad nobody caught the Game of Thrones reference in the premiere of this. But I don't live further north, though. It's cold enough here in Nagano. Getting sidetracked, though. This kanji means north, and its official radical is spoon. For some reason. Gotcha. We can break it down into a one, staff, and spoon. There are 5 strokes in north. This one doesn't feel particularly nice for me to write for some reason, but it's not too hard when you get used to it. Is it like Fight Club? Morbid Blessing? We start with the first little horizontal stroke and then cut down with our vertical staff stroke. While in many computer fonts, the third stroke looks like it's attached to the staff stroke just below the middle, in most writing, it actually starts from the left, cuts up, and attaches under the vertical stroke. We then draw the no-like stroke in Yeah, so like in fonts, it usually like it connects here. But in writing, it goes under. Spoon, and finally, it's fishhook stroke. Historically, this was a pictograph of two people with their backs turned to each other.
I can totally see that.
Apparently, it had a meaning of to.
Well, more, it's not their backs, it's their butts. It looks like they're doing a butt bump.
Disobey or to run away. It was eventually borrowed to mean north. There are various explanations for this, but I suspect we don't really know the reason that this particular kanji was chosen. One explanation suggests that this was people looking towards the sun in the south and turning their back to the cold in the north. But that seems like a stretch to me.
Not sure what you're referring to, Ghost, but happy to discuss it more if it sounds like we're trying to force people to do something.
Kind of like how these two slender men are stretching down to touch their toes.
See that? There's the head, there's the legs, there's the hands sticking down. Whee! Yuki's about to look up Slenderman.
For our story, we're going with a pictograph.
Ah.
It's two people at the North Pole sitting back to back because it's so damn cold.
I like Brittany's story. Use a spoon to eat all the soup you need in the north to stay warm. Yes, indeed. I like that one. All right, so it's time
North
to go
Pole
ahead.
sitting back to back because it's so damn cold.
Go ahead and write this one out. I picked the wrong one again. Yuki said she got caught just drawing
ね
Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas.
うん似てるよね
I have to make this like more obvious that this is a different one. Anyway,
はい
we're going to go ahead and draw north now.
あミュージックは限定って言ってる
OK
けど
ですよ今
はいすいませんここがういせ
We say. So yeah, you see Yuki, she angles this one up quite a bit. And I'm used to having, like when you look at the fonts, this will be connected here, as I just mentioned. But what a lot of people will do, and what I think I probably mistook in the beginning, is they'll start here. And when you start with the first line up and down, it gets really hard to make these sort of line up well. But it feels better to do this, for sure. But the correct stroke order is, of course, bit of angled up first here, then the line down, and then if you looked at the fonts, you'd expect it to be like this or something, but that never quite looks right. So, you know that you go up, down, and then connect to the bottom, sort of sliding past that a little bit. Then, of course, you don't do the hook first. You pull in the no. And out. Yuki still looks better, but that's to be expected.
そうだ
All
すい
right.
ませんね
All right, so let's go ahead and see what turbo looks like here.
はいターボしていきたいと思います
Slenderman does look quite a bit.
そんなにターボしないかな
Yeah, not so much. It looks pretty much the same.
うん
Although this is like a scripty L. It's like a
確かにね
cursive L.
こういう感じだね
Looks quite nice. Yeah,
本当
it
だ
looks better. It looks better. It looks better in turbo than it does in regular. Like I don't really like how Kita looks. It's not so bad, but
確
yeah, it
か
looks
に
quite nice in speed mode.
うんうんうんこれね
A bit more, yes.
確かにこのカーシブ L みたいなやつだな
Mm.
ねじゃあカーシブ L でいきたいと思い
Yeah,
ま
it
す
does indeed. Yeah. Just saying that.
おいいじゃんカーシブ L
Yeah, it's perfect.
うん
Nice Jack drawing, Yuki. The music from Nightmare Before Christmas is so good. Yeah, I
あ
always
り
use
が
that
と
for
うござ
Halloween
い
parties.
ます
Ding, 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 ding,
ね
ding,
これ北だから
ding,
北
ding, ding. Ah, okay. Yeah,
そう
Kita is in there.
だ
Hold
か
up.
ら
Kita is there.
そう
She's got the kanji for Kita hidden in Jack. You push that up.
だってそういうやつだったよねさっきのさなんかシンボルみたいなやつ
Right. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out how to type this bad boy. You've probably already heard me say it.
はい、北ですね。
Yes, kita will be the easiest way to type this one for the quiz, for sure. I can't imagine anything. You might get the past tense of the verb to come to show up first when you type kita. Some of you, you might get the second kanji I'll show you here. This is what
ホクも
might show up for you.
ホ
But
ク言っとく、
yeah,
あ、
ikanai.
ホクは言っとかない。でも
言っとかない。
みんな結構北海道
Hokkaido. Not quite,
あ
not quite. Close. Just
他
a
惜し
do.
い惜しいよ。やっぱりホーク
北海道
言っとくか、じゃあちょっとだけ。ホークは
She must teach you the extra ones. You gotta extend that do.
で
Otherwise, you get the do from like amount of something. So Hokkaido,
どう
you
まで
extend it.
そうそう
So
そう。
it's road.
うん、
The northern sea road is what Hokkaido is, the kanji. No worries, Jeev. Have a good night.
あ、チーブさんありがとうございました。
Yeah, you can type hoku to get the kanji as well. It does not show up for me for quite a while, actually. Hoku is, we've got like a bunch of other things. That's why I don't think it's a very good one to choose. It's the 13th or 14th.
うん、
Kita's going to be better for most of you. Interesting that that when things are going south, it's haiboku, indeed. Although that's more just losing. But you're back to the north. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Or
そ
losing
っ
to the
か、
north.
敗北ってそういう感じだったっけ。そっか、敗北。
No worries. What's
本
that?
当
Did I miss
だ。
something, Five Toad?
敗北だ。確かに。
I'm looking for your comment that I might have answered Five Toad Sloth Bear. Oh. I can't find it. Unless you're talking about the Fender comment that I missed. Okay. Hi, Hokkaido, right? Okay.
Ah.
That was you. Okay,
Hi.
no worries. Kit was A through me. Go figure. Kita. Okay.
あ
All right.
Hi.
So that should have you typing it in no time. Ohayou gozaimasu, Greggles.
あ、ちなみにそのカムトゥージャパンさんが出してくれた北欧は
Hmm.
ノーザンヨーロップ
Northern Europe.
そう
Hokuo.
だからどこ？ノーウェーとか、
Like
ノーウェ
Norway?
ーとかデンマークも
Maybe, yeah.
その辺ですね、北欧って。
うん。
はい。すいません、ちょっと間違えてたらごめん。
All good.
Let me know in the
we go.
comments if you think this whole pun thing is going south. But after we learn this kanji that means south. The official radical for south is 10. And the parts are 10, an overturned box, and 8 horse-leg crown. There are 9 strokes in south. We start with the 10 on top, horizontal stroke followed by a much shorter than usual vertical stroke. We then draw the overturned box below the 10, with the second stroke often connecting to the vertical stroke in 10. Make sure to curve the tip of the final stroke in overturned box in towards the center of it. Next, we draw the 3 strokes in horse leg crown inside the overturned box.
Seems way too complicated for just a direction. Although I guess there's a bunch of, like, with the 10s, they look like they're pointing to the different directions. And you could look at it, random story I just imagined right now. Okay, so you think of this as the 4 cardinal directions, right? North, east, south, west. And you put all the junk that is in the south, so all this stuff. This is just meant to, like, you're pointing at this stuff in the south. That's what all this garbage is. Whatever it is. The box with the other 10 and stuff is in the south. It's pointing in that direction.
The legs of the crown should not go through the top of the box. Next, we draw another 10 below this. Horizontal, followed by vertical, usually connecting to the vertical stroke in the 8 horse leg crown above it. It's worth noting that you may see the final vertical stroke in this kanji either sweep down and outside the overturned box or stop cleanly before going through. Both are okay. The cardinal directions all seem to be a mystery when you dive into their history, and south is no slouch when it comes to this bout. One explanation suggested that this is a pictograph of a bell-like instrument
rap or
hanging from a
something.
tree that was
There's a lot going on here. A lot going on. This one looks kind of like fist.
なんかみんな気に入らなかったんかな、いろいろ。
They just couldn't figure out what they wanted.
Played by the people in the South, thus South. Others suggest it's some sort of item
This one's eating a trident. It's like coming out of a tube in Mario, coming up to eat the trident, the little plant.
used in festivals, but
確かに。
that explanation offered no
does
reason
kinda
for
look
its
like
use
yen,
as
yeah.
South. It appears that regardless, it was eventually borrowed to mean South for some reason. I think it's a giant building with a lightning rod or perhaps an antenna on top. Because the people
Especially
from
this
the
one.
previous civilization that was destroyed, who returned as aliens to educate the Chinese of the time, needed a building that reminded them of home. Or for picking up messages from their friends educating other leftover peoples from that old catastrophe.
Uh-oh.
Hey, thanks for stopping by for the final lesson in this part of the series. Huh? You don't care about that? Oh. I'm giving away too much information. I have to do the memory eraser thing again? Fine.
Houdini! You got the Jawa there.
You know the
Houdini!
drill. Well, no, actually, I guess you don't.
Dan did so good with that animation in the original, and I had to do it again.
For our story, we're going with, we used our fluorescent +10 staff to find the South Pole. There, we found an overturned box, and in it, an upside-down horse on another +10 staff.
Yep. All right, so time to go ahead and... I did it again.
ちょっと
I did it again.
ちょっと
You're fine, you're fine. You can keep writing.
もう一回やり直しですよ。
I have to like delete this. This is
もう
not as good of an idea as I thought it was going to be, having
アン
that.
ディ先生
はい、申し訳ございません。
申し訳ございません。
I even read
み
at
んな
11s. ここは私のブラジルに大学校の教室です. It's very hard to read Romaji, especially when it's all smushed together, but it sounds like 11 is hanging out in a classroom in Brazil.
ね、あ
Thank you
り
for
が
stopping
とう
by.
ございます。はい、もう一回書きますよ。
New host next week, indeed.
またね、私たちはかわいそうなホースを犠牲にしてしまいました。
はい。All right. It's very nice. Very even.
そう、ベリーイーブンだよね。ちょっとイーブンに書きすぎたか？あ、いいんじゃないですか？
Mine's not so bad
う
either.
ん、いい感じじゃん。
Could be worse.
はい。
All right. The moment that everyone has been waiting for. Turbo South.
ね、さっきブラトニーじゃなくてブラトニー合ってるよね。
Brittany.
ブリトニーだそうだ。いつもブラトで間違えちゃう。ブリトニーさんが言ってくれたこの円マーク。この円マークをまずターボし
It
て
does look like yen.
そうそう。これがこうなってるので、
Yen ね。
そうそう。こういう風に書いていきたいと
Okay,
思
so
い
that's
ま
how
す。
she's going to write the inside on the right.
はい。こんな感じです。
Okay, okay.
この10は
That's awesome. A lot less strokes in this one.
でもね、
I mean, it looks the same.
うん
So, maybe. I mean, since you see them next to each other, it looks the same. If you were just to see this in a letter, you might be confused.
そうでも最初のこの10がね、
うん
一応チュチュチュチュ
Right.
の
It's coming
感じ
together, yeah.
です。 でこれがまた N の漢字で入りまして、
Right, you draw the box
こ
like
れ
an
ね
N,
でこれさっきの円マーク書き
and
ま
it's
す。
like a yen mark. Yes, Targumi, I'd be in trouble reading Turbo Yuki writing without this course. That's the purpose of it, right? Like, you don't need to copy this or try to practice it at all. This is just what it looks like when people who have been writing Japanese for many, 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 many years start to speed up and have to write a lot. And, you know, that's what it starts to look like. So, you do not need to try to do this. It's just in case you ever see it in writing, you can have an idea of what it might look like.
はい。そう、チチチチサウンドが必要ですね。でもさ、これさ、結構さ、なんか学校とかこういう感じに、古い学校とか、
old
そうそ
school
う、
names, you'll see
公
it look
民
like
館
that.
みたいなのにはこういうの書いてあると思う。
You will see that for sure. Someone asked, Verora asked how you type on a keyboard. You have to go into like your keyboard settings and then add a keyboard. If you're on Mac, you just add a keyboard. If you're on Windows, you have to add an IME, it's called. And then you switch by doing, usually I think Alt Shift for most people. You can change the key combination, but you switch to the language, different language, and then you just type using Romaji. So you just type, for example, this kanji. To type it, you'll do mi, na, mi. So you type M-I-N-A-M-I,
はい。
and that pops up the hiragana like this. And then you hit space, mi, na, mi, and then that will pop up the kanji. And then you have to press enter twice. So you press enter once to choose the kanji, and then you press enter again to send it. So mi, na, mi is the word for south. And we teach you how to type it here so that you can type it for the quiz later in the video. Excuse me. Not so much for you to memorize the word, which we'll be covering in later lessons.
はい。何も言っとく？
Nah. いかない。
何は言っとかない。
いかない。
はい、はい。あ、何曲出してる人がいるよ。
いいよ。別に出したって。
あ、何言っとかない？
いかないよ。
はい、わかりました。
はい、ありがとうございます。I have a book that has print semi-cursive and cursive form when I took a brief Shodo class. Oh, interesting. Okay.
ね、そのチチチチクラスがあるよね。
And he has to be able to read Turbo Yuki so that he gets the right groceries. That is correct. That is absolutely true.
このチチチ。
I think Minami should automatically win this one in the quiz. I saw that username earlier. Yeah, that is a good username to have when it comes to this one. Should be able to type it fast. Andy limits you so much, Yuki. We could learn more. Indeed. はい。
この円マークさ、これたまにもしかしたら書くかもしれないからね、これ。これ、この南の中のやつが
So
円マーク。
it definitely looks like a yen mark for sure. It's basically the same thing.
これだよね、円マーク。
It's a little bit different, but yeah, no, basically. Minami makes me think of Miami, which is in the south. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's a good
そうか、前、
に似てるって言ってるんですよ。同じって言ってません。
確かにね。
Found a Q&A on why, means guidance pointing south. Didn't ask for it, but glad I found it out.
シナンかな？
Shinan, meaning guidance pointing south. Interesting. That's exactly how I remember it. It said and meet the fish. And meets the fish. Okay, nice.
そのシっていう字は指という字なんで to point という意味がありますね。
It's to point and then you've got south. I'm getting a phone call. But
なんだ？
Sorry, whoever you are, I can't answer right now.
はい。
All right, on we go.
Alien
In the Wild West
Could
of
be from the
Cardinal
aliens.
Is it from the aliens? You know what? No. I guess they have a Japanese cell phone number.
This one just means west. And it is its own official radical. We can break it down into the parts 1, a mouth, and person's legs, though. There are 6 strokes in west. We start with the horizontal one on top, and then we start to draw the mouth part, but do not complete it. We only draw the first 2 strokes, the vertical and backwards upside down L. We then draw the person's legs part, starting from below the first horizontal 1 stroke and cutting down into the mouth below. In some fonts, the right leg will curve up before hitting the right side of the mouth. But in writing, it's often written straight into the right side of the mouth. Anyway, we then close the mouth up below the legs. The historical consensus on this character is that it was originally a pictograph of a bird's nest. Eventually, it was borrowed to mean west. One explanation that I liked suggested that this is because birds return to their nests as the sun sets in the west.
It rhymes.
Yes. Let's be real, though. This is the gomu gomu seed that Luffy ate to get his rubber powers.
100%. Like, that's straight up. Right? Am I wrong? I'm right, right?
Thus, the One Piece must be in the west. Let's end that series once and for all. He's going to find the One Piece. For our non-One Piece related story, we're going to say that Mouth wants to eat fluorescent worms and sexy legs. Apparently. Someone along the road points it, as in Mouth, to the west. This
All right, let's get west up for
Hi.
us. Let's make sure I choose the right one. All right, did I get it? Can you hear me? No music? Safe? Okay.
はい、OK。
I go west to the pie restaurant to put pie in my mouth. It does look kind of like pie. That works good. Montana Margot says for west, I think of a saddlebag. Okay, nice. It looks like a tribal tattoo. Life goes south when you get one. For the last one, eh? For the last kanji? Yeah.
はい。
You're only wrong
Masta.
because it's not rubber powers, it's Nika powers. Oh, okay. Yes, I'm all about that Five-Toed Sloth Bear. I love these stories, LMAO. All right, I'm pretty bad at this one.
確かにこれパイだな、ほんと。
I already messed it up.
あ、そう書き順間違えた、
Hmm.
書き順間違えなければね、いいですよ。
Mana. I don't know. I can never make this one look right, but it is what it is.
はい。この、でみんな
Nishikaigan. Hmm.
みんなさ、4のターボ覚えてる？
What song?
4、4、4って4っていう感じのターボ覚えてるかな？
She's asking if you guys remember the turbo version of 4. Let's go ahead and see what Turbo 4 looks like. I don't believe we did the turbo version in the first couple streams.
そっか。
So probably have not seen it, to be honest.
じゃあ、
Turbo showed up later.
わかりました。この西行ってみたいと思います。はい。
Right. I've seen this.
ね、
So
こ
it's
の
just straight lines. It's not person's legs. It's just straight up straight lines. It looks like the right side of kachi.
あ、そうそうそう。まあ、人弁がいるんですけどね。
Right.
そう。
That's what I said, the right side of it.
そう。ここをね、ターボするときはあんまりここをね、
Yeah, it
セ
doesn't
クシ
curve
ーレ
out.
グを入れる人はいなくて。
Sexy legs. Yeah, nobody throws the sexy legs in there.
そう。
So in turbo mode, it's basically straight up. I've definitely seen that in writing
そ
before.
うみんなね、多分こうやって書いてます。
And that last stroke is a single stroke. Oh wow, I like it. Says that meets a fish. Whoa, says Brittany. Turbo looks like it's a boxed in stand kanji. Yeah,
Ah,
kind
そう
of.
だ
Yeah,
ね。
it does kind of look like that.
そう。これね。
I think I've decided to learn Japanese. I'm 15 years old. Sounds good, yes, and it's always good to try and learn a language early. I always tried to learn Spanish when I was quite young, but I was never able to stay focused on it. I wish I would have, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, her turbo mode reminds me of this kanji, which we'll learn later. It's like that, right?
あ、そう、それがバリュー。
This means value. We'll learn that later, though.
あ、
There's al-
looking close to blood 漢字と言っていましたね。確かにそうかもね。このチョンでこの皿が
Also done it. Yeah. It
ちょっ
does
と
look
似
kind
て
of
る
like
か
that.
も。
Looks, especially the turbo modes.
似てるか？
Sort of. Yeah, sort of. Not to the
ちょっと
train
似てる。
die, maybe. Yeah, yeah.
うん。
Yeah.
ここでも血を N4 漢字です。血はね。血。
It's always good to learn and try and learn new things when you're young. 100%. Super cool. I hope we can help you with that. All right. So to type this kanji on your keyboard, you'd
は
type
ーい。
nishi. That is the word for west. Nishi. Hit spacebar and enter. Nishi. Nishi.
そう、西でもいいです。
西
この西。
Yeah, you can also type it C. Nishi. Nishi. There you go. You got it.
せーも言っとく？
Nope. Ikanai. See, Andy, need to watch your language. Yes, indeed. All right, so
はい。
I got that one right. Okay, we're still on screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one.
はい。
This is the direction that Luffy is coming from as he heads west to get the One Piece.
He's coming from
Sorry,
the east.
spoilers. This kanji
Love the animations, Dan.
means east. The official radical of east is tree, and we can break it up into a tree and sun. There are 8 strokes in east. We start with the first
Keep trying, Yuki. We will learn some sneaky readings.
horizontal stroke in tree, but before drawing the rest of it, we first draw the entire sun beneath it.
That's what happened to me as well, Al-Sabi. I learned way more Spanish when I was in Spain for like 3 months than I did when I kept trying to learn it over and over again in high school and stuff.
After completing the sun, we then draw the vertical stroke in tree down through everything and pull the branches down from beneath the sun. First the one on the left, and then the one on the right. The earliest version of East is one of the other devil fruits Luffy eats.
Oh.
Or someone ate. I don't know. I haven't caught up on One Piece yet. There's too many episodes. The latest historical version of this kanji is the giant
Is it this one? Did the last one look more like this one?
octopus people from the East. In reality, this was apparently a pictograph of a stick being stuck through 2 ends of some kind of bag, and it was borrowed for East much later. Sounds to me like all the cardinal directions were picked at random when the choosers decided all the kanji and realized they'd forgotten to pick ones for the compass. Poor cardinal directions. Our story's an easy one. The sun rises through the trees to the east.
Yuki, what do you think? I'm not sure on that question. Ed meets the fish. Right here.
あ、そう。私もね、それね、教えようと思ってたんですよ。
She was gonna
ち
teach
ょっと
that.
ね、このウリシリーズね。ウリっ
Almost
て
got
英語
music
で
again.
なんて言うんだっけ、スクワッシュみ
Type
たい
of
なやつ。
squash,
そうそう
squash, yeah, uri.
そう、ウリなんですけど、ちょっとウリね、書き順不明。まずね、これはちょっと後でやるね。
We'll be doing it later.
まず
First, we've got
そう、この西、こうだと思うんだけどね。西ウリと書いて、スイカと読みます。
Oh, so it says western squash, and you read it as suika. And for those of you who know what that word is, it means
はい。
watermelon. Watermelon.
はい。スイカと読みます。
And then we have
でもね、こういうね、食べ物の名前とかね、
mm,
難しいからね。
these are very different,
Mm.
difficult. Most people do not write them in kanji. They will write suika, for example, in hiragana, usually.
うん、
Sometimes katakana. And then same with the next one, which is
はい、
written as
次。
south
そ
and
う、サウス
squash.
エンドスクワッシュは、かぼちゃと読みます。
Kabocha, which is Japanese pumpkin. Kabocha. So southern squash is Japanese pumpkin, and western squash is watermelon. So yeah, usually those are both written in either hiragana or katakana,
うん。
but they do have kanji.
そう。で、これ、最後のこの黄色ウリですが、
Suika is a watermelon.
そう、この木はね、ちょっと N4 でね、やるんだけど、この
This one
漢
pops
字
up
が
in
ね。
N4. This is to be next to
う
something.
ん、で、
Or yellow?
そうそう、イエローだよ。
Yellow.
イエロー、木で
Next
す。
to something has a tree on it. That's right.
で、キウリ
Right.
は、これ、キウリ。
Ah.
キュウリです。
Okay. Cutie is what the cucumber.
そう。で、
Cucumber.
キウリは、こ
Even
の
though
キ
they're
ウリ
green.
と、この子っていう字、胡蝶忍の子です。デーモンスレイヤーを見ている人はわかるかもしれないんですけど、胡蝶忍さんという
Kocho
柱
Shinobu-san is one of the characters, one of the
No.
Hashira in Demon
Mm.
Slayer, and this is
Mm.
his kanji.
の名字の名前が胡蝶の子がこの字で、この、字でもキウリで
And
す。
this is also read as cutie, which is cucumber.
そう。だから両方あるんだけど、そう、ウリシリーズがね、結構あるか
So
ら。
there's actually lots of different words for different types of squashes. And they usually have a kanji before the kanji for squash. Before I read yellow as next to, but if you add this next to it, that becomes next to, eh?
そう。
これが
Yoko.
Yoko. I always mix up yellow and next to.
ね、でもね不思議なのはそのさ北ウリと東ウリはないよね。
There's no northern squash or eastern squash. No, suika is spelled with a C actually, but yes, that is the one for Tokyo for Honshu, I guess, for northern. Then there's the one that's used for trains and stuff in Kansai, in like Osaka and stuff is Ikoka, but the one in Tokyo and stuff is suika. Yes.
そうでもそのねイコカって多分関西弁だからね。
そう
のイコカだと思う。イコカの
let's go.
そうそう行きましょうかイコカだと思う。
I see. Keep missing the streams these past few weeks. Like has gone on turbo mode, just like Yuki's kanji. I hear ya. It's been fast. I want to like it, but it always tastes bitter to me. But my kids love it. Is this East kanji in the word for Tokyo? It looks the same to me, but yes, it absolutely is. Tokyo. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and write East.
はい。
And we'll get to that in the reading. Actually, we got totally sidetracked by squashes.
そうすいません。
Yeah, Tokyo is not written in Japanese like it is in English. Everyone says Tokyo, but it's not Tokyo. It's Tokyo extended. So,
ありがとうございます。
thank you so much, Rachel. The lesson discussion today has been awesome so far. Are you doing names in kanji for Super Chat tonight? We absolutely are. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yuki will go ahead and put down Rachel for the next name she's going to work on. By the way, Rachel is the name of my little sister.
ね。
Here's my version.
レイチェル。
Already off center. Not so bad. That one's better. Actually, can you do my son's name? Rachel じゃなくて、
OK。
息子の名前。Absolutely. Absolutely. Let us know.
じゃあお名前を教えていただいたら。
As soon as you let us know, she'll start working on that.
はい。
In the meantime, she's going to go ahead and do Turbo East.
はい、ターボ行きたいと思います。
That's pretty much the same. Doesn't really change much.
そう
The sun is turbo. It's got the N. Sun becomes an N with like a Z inside or 2 inside, and then the rest is the same. So turbo is not so much.
そう木はね結構はっきり書いてるからねここに。
ボヘレン。Okay.
ボヘレン。
ボヘレン。
HEN だけど
ボヘレン。
ボヘレンでいいの？
ボヘン。Okay, no, there was an extra. ボヘン。
ボヘン。
下に書いてあります。
Okay.
Not as well as I thought it might be. Nah, it's not. What this? Pentasquare, I'm not sure. What do you think? Which sounds more right? Probably bohen. But I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it in English. I'm guessing bohen. Boheren. Whichever sounds more right to you in the end, I guess is best. Boheren or bohem. That is indeed your granddaughter's name.
Okay, ボヘンの方が合ってるのね。
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that one then.
はい。
Sweet. All right, so we've got turbo. We'll have Yuki start working on that when we get to the next kanji. But in the meantime, to type this one, you'd go with higashi.
あ、ひからだった。
東。
東。これが
or
C
C.
か C で。
Now, we will give you the other reading for this one because someone was asking if it looked, they said it looks like the word, sorry, I'm getting all mixed up. It looks like the kanji in Tokyo, and that is correct. But people always can never get it to show up because they spell Tokyo like this in Romaji. And that is the name, that's how it's written in Romaji officially, Tokyo. That's why people say Tokyo in English, right? Tokyo. But it is not Tokyo. It's Tokyo, like that. So you have to draw it like this to get Tokyo. And that will get you this. You get the kanji for east and the kanji for capital of a country. So it's the eastern capital. That's what Tokyo means. And if you look at the word Kyoto, people will also say Kyoto. But it's Kyoto. It's short, right? Kyoto. And that's because if you look at those kanji, Kyoto, you get Kyo It's the same kyo in Tokyo, and that's capital. And then the kanji on the right means like a city, type of city. So you've got the capital city, and that is because Kyoto was originally the capital of Japan. It is now Tokyo, the eastern capital. But so that's where that all comes in. So now you got a bonus there. So Kyoto versus Tokyo. I don't know if I'm getting the pitch there right. Can you say Tokyo for us, Yuki?
Tokyo.
Okay, I got it. Sounds like hey bum. I have these in the picture in my head because we learned the directions as exit designations in a train station. Very nice. How do I say Edo? It's Ido, right? That's how I always hear Americans say it. Ido. Yeah, no.
イードって言ってんのみんな。みんな
Apparently.
イードって言ってる。
江戸時代。
もしかして江戸です。江戸。
Edo.
伸ばさないの。
Right.
何も伸ばしません。
江戸時代。
そう。
江戸時代。
これ伸ばさないからね、何も。
Edo? Do people say Edo on that? I've never heard of that.
イーラーかなみんな言ってんの。イーラーって言ってるもしかして。
Edo period. The Edo period. I think I have heard that. Edo 時代.
はい。
Will you ever make reviews for native media for learners again? I would like to. I was unconvinced of their benefit in relation to the amount of effort that they took, because I had to actually read all the content, which took, sometimes weeks. Then I had to make the video, which took another week. So it would take me like a month to make individually, personally, one review of a series and decide whether it was good for readers or not. But it would get like 10,000 views, which is nice, but it's hard to justify, because what I end up doing is I read content that's too easy for me, because I'm trying to find stuff for learners. So it's way too easy for me. So I'm not learning anything. But that's my month of reading Japanese. Like, that's all I have time for. And then I make the review. Yeah. Or I could spend that time making stuff like this, like actual teaching material. So just like the cost benefit ratio didn't work for me. I like the videos, like I like the review videos, like the Yotsubato video and stuff like that, and the Dorohe Doro video. I thought they were great. Yeah, I like the most I could make would be maximum 12 a year, maybe. And I would have to spend almost all my time just reading content that wasn't useful for me. So I stopped making them. Maybe someday I'll make them, but I have other goals right now. The kanji series, and I want to redo most of the grammar stuff, because I want to correct some mistakes that we made, and I just want to make it better. Like, for example, the whole first Genki series just has the fan of my laptop just blaring in the speakers the whole time. Got to get rid of that. Got to correct some of my mistakes from 4 years ago, because I'm much better at Japanese now. Things like that. But anyway, those are my goals now, more so than review videos. Anyway, we've got how to write is now. So Yuki's working on Bohen's name while I go through that. Yuki says it like I would have thought it would be pronounced, but I've heard native speakers say it more like Edo.
So, Edo.
Like
Edo.
you mean like they extend it, Edo? Yeah, but it's just Edo. My kids hate when I correct them on the pronunciation of Japanese words and names. I hear you. When you speak English, do you pronounce Tokyo as Japanese as possible? It's weird, because a lot of people think it sounds pretentious when you try and say like a foreign word or name of a city when you're speaking English in the way it's said in the foreign language. And they're not wrong necessarily, but I've lived here for so long that I've lost that sense. So like a lot of times I will find that I'm speaking English, like, oh, I went to Tokyo this weekend. But most of the time I think I end up saying it in English. So I think I say, oh, I went to Tokyo this week when I'm speaking English, for the most part. I don't think I say many words in Japanese pronunciation when I'm speaking English, except that I end up putting like eto and like a toka, things like that when I'm speaking English in response, and I always forget that that's not actually English, and people probably don't know what I'm talking about, but little things like that will slip in. I always tell people to spend 2 days learning Japanese phonetics. It's really simple, and it's literally impossible to mispronounce Japanese words once you know the phonetics. Definitely worth it.
はい。
はい。
お待たせしました。
Yuki has finished.
はい。
Bohen's name. So let's go ahead and pop that over. Not with music. Hi, that's the right
はい
one.
ボヘンさんは、まあ、ボヘンくんだね。男の子だもんね。2文字の漢字にしました。ボで一文字で、ヘンで一文字です。
Right.
で、ボっていう字はこれ、くれるという漢字で、英語では夕方の夕と同じ漢字。twilight.
Yes. So this is the kanji. The first one here is the kanji for
So,
the time frame in the day that is twilight, not the one of the story about vampires. The actual time of day, twilight.
そう、あとは evening とか
Or evening, things like that.
spend time という意味がありま
It
す。
apparently can also mean to spend time
はい
doing something.
で、変っていう字はこれ編むっていう字なんですけど、編むは一般的にそのあれ knitting とクロシェ
In general parlance, this is it's for like knitting and crocheting something together.
だけど日本語はこれ編集っていうそのエディティングの意味も漢字であって、
It can also mean to edit something or
そう
to
そう
put something together.
古い意味だとそのポエムを読む。
It also used to be for reading a poem in old times. So that's the one you would kind of go for from here. So reading a poem at twilight.
はい。
Something like that for Bohen's name. Thank you very much again, Rachel.
はい。
Appreciate
あり
that.
がとうございます。
はい。
ちょっと難しいかこれ。難しかったか。
いいでしょう。はい。All right, hopefully you're still here and saw that. If not, oh, there you go. Awesome. Thank you. Awesome.
はい。
Thank you. Excellent. All right. Pop that back out. Appreciate that.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much, Dan, for popping that up there. Is that the right one?
合ってるよ。
Okay. Jalapeno. Andy, do you say carry on or karaoke? Karaoke.
Karaoke ね。
You want to go to karaoke? I think when I'm speaking English, I say karaoke. But of course, when I speak Japanese, it's karaoke. Karaoke ni ikitai na. Yeah, so I don't think I do try to say Japanese words in Japanese when I'm speaking English. I think I managed to skip over that.
さ、
はい
今のさ日本人のカラオケよく行く若者とかで、カラオケのスタイル、そのキャラオケの方のスタイル、わかる人いるのかな？
わかんない。
そのステージで歌う
いや、わかんないでしょ。
方の。
わかんない。
あ、
People don't yeah, it's a different thing back in the States and here in Japan.
そうみんな多分ね。
See you later, Sargumi.
ありがとうございます。
Hit the subscribe button if you like easy to remember kanji. Unless you already hit it, then don't. Love it. This has been one long lesson and one long series. The last kanji in this long meanings and writing series is long. So long for now. Well, no, wait. We need to cover the rest of long. Yeah, we need to get that subscribe button back in future videos as well. This is so good. Long, whose official radical is long. We're also going to sadly say that it is its only part. I want to tell you that the first vertical it is indeed in Nagano. Stroke goes all the way to the bottom of the square and is exactly the same one as the one in good and eat. But it's not. We first draw a vertical stroke halfway down the kanji. Then we draw the 4 horizontal lines. The second and third line should be shorter than the first. And the 4th horizontal line should be the longest, starting to the left of our first vertical line and going out past where the first horizontal line ends. We then draw a vertical stroke starting right below where the first vertical stroke ended and slice it up to the right, all in a single stroke. Here, just like in good and eat. We then pull back the no-like stroke on the right, and the backwards no stroke sweeps out to the right, connected to the line above and the no-like drop. Also just like in good and eat.
The earliest version of this kanji is probably one of the least well-defined ones we've seen to date.
You can see the cane here. This is his hand. This is an old dude sort of hunched over with a giant Gandalf hat that's sort of bent at the top.
With its thin, broken lines. I can definitely see a thin wizard with a giant wizard hat and a cane or umbrella held out in front of him for balance. The second one is
I say umbrella because this, you could see this as his hand is like a claw, or you could see this curved up like an umbrella, like that.
demon he accidentally summoned, holding him in the air, with whatever he was holding in the last frame dropped on the ground.
So there's his body, there's his legs, there's the staff that he dropped, or the umbrella, and that's his hat, and his head's in the air. And this is like I guess it's more like a genie coming out of a bottle. And there's his hands, and there's the...
And the final frame is a close-up of that demon flexing.
So here you go. There's his face, there's his eyes, I guess this is his mouth, his head, and then this is his arm. It's flexed up like that. See, it's flexed.
すごいイマジネーションがさあるね。
Yeah, I have a bit of an
すごい
imagination.
クリエイティブだね。
Learning kanji helped to bring out that imagination.
Yes, I did make that all up, but apparently I'm not too far off. Except it's not a wizard's hat, it's a really long, wild hairdo.
This part here.
Apparently
yeah?
on an old...
This is a really long, wild hairdo, apparently.
Old person. Okay, I'm quite a ways off, but still. Since the lower half of this kanji is a lot like good, we're going to use it in the story.
Yes, Brittany. Does the fact that nagai is a part or a radical mean that there will be kanji that somehow crams together this, yet more strokes into a single character on the right? Yes. It shows up quite a bit, actually.
Remember our long conveyor belts from good? Well, this kanji shows combs for long hair going down long conveyor belts.
That's
because
great, James.
The top of the kanji
Glad
looks
to
like
hear
a
that.
comb.
Hope you're enjoying your time here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and
あ
write
りが
this
とう
one
ご
out.
ざいます。
This is one of the few kanji that I can actually kind of turbo because
Hi.
I've had to write my address so many times. Yeah, there you go. There's a good one. Yeah. There's a hair. Hair. It's right on the top left.
そうだね。まあね、このね、最後のところがね、こういう風になるんですけ
Yes.
ど。
Usually when it's written as a small part, the bottom
ね、
the bottom becomes a mu.
あ、そうそうそうそう、ここがね、ここがむになりそうそうそう。でもノートブックとかのその練習帳とかのやつはまあ違うその辺が来るよね。こういう風に来たり。
Well, we should write the kanji, the actual kanji first.
はい。
Before we show the parts
そう
that
だ
it's
ね
in.
ちょっとウェイビヨンドだね。
そう
はい。
そうそう。はい、お願いします。
失礼しましたね。
Nice, James.
はい。
はい。
どうでしょう。ちょっと斜めっちゃったかなこれや。
はい、there's mine.
はい。いいんじゃないでしょうか。
まあまあ。
そうね、ここのね、長さを、ここの長さをね、このスペースの部分ね、ここをね、イーブンにするとね、結構よく見えます。えこの
if you space out the part,
そうそうそう。
Okay, so she's saying this. If you put the space between each of the lines as equal, it will look quite well. So as you can see, mine is not quite equal. So we'll try again.
そう。
Still not quite right. And also I had to go like that because I was thinking too hard.
まあでもいいじゃないですか。
まあまあ。All right, turbo mode from Yuki.
はい。
Nice.
はい。
It's not that much different.
こうだよね。
Looks more like a comb in turbo mode.
でも縦から書くんだから。
Here's my turbo.
あれ縦から書いてるちゃんと。
やってるよ。
こうだよね。合ってるわ。合ってるわ。あ、上手じゃん。
Yeah, that's my turbo mode.
ターボっぽいぞ。
It's one of the few that I can write in turbo mode because I write it so much.
そう。
What happens when you write kanji in the correct stroke order, lots and lots of times, you naturally like this is Yuki's turbo, that's my turbo.
うん。
It looks very very similar. You end up
they all end up looking quite similar. So that's another argument for learning to write proper stroke order, because your high speed ones that no longer look like the original kanji will actually be readable to Japanese people, and you'll also be able to read people's handwriting because you write it that way. If that makes any sense. It gets so tiny and squished in the grid box by itself. I don't want to add anything else in there. I hear ya. Felt criminal to learn so much easily for free, says James. That's what I love about YouTube. We have lots of free stuff on YouTube, but then we have the website where people who want to learn more or support can basically fund the YouTube. So yeah, we like to put as much as possible for free on YouTube, and then the people on the website basically make that possible. So, best of both worlds. So we're able to make a living from it, but we're also able to provide lots and lots for free. So I very much appreciate the people on the website that make it so that so many people can learn for free on YouTube. So thank you guys. Greg says, what do you think is the benefit of isolated kanji study versus just anking purely vocabulary? So when you get to a certain point, purely vocabulary is fine. I think that point, it's a little bit different. So if you just start just anking vocabulary and just try to sort of memorize what you see, the image of what you see, without having any idea of all these parts of kanji. So for example, if we looked at let's see if I can write this one correctly. Is this right? Kiro. Right. Okay. So we've got yellow, eh? So we've got the type is a grass part. Okay. And then we've got this part is a whole nother part down here. And then if we were to add a tree next to it, we have another part here, right? But this is all a totally separate kanji. But if you know these three parts, you know that tree, grass, and then this part down here, what they are, it's much easier than just looking at this in a separate, like a word, and trying to memorize like whatever comes. If there's two of these that you've never seen before, and trying to memorize that shape without having any concept of the different parts of kanji, if you just start that way, you're going to have a bad time. Now, I don't necessarily think you need to learn 2,000 kanji individually, one by one, with all these pieces. But I think as a beginner, learning like 1,000-ish, 800 to 1,200 maybe, kanji one by one, and breaking down the parts and figuring out all of the actual parts. So pull out all the radicals, pull out all the parts. When you've got all of that down, it becomes much, much easier to both see, write, and remember kanji. So then, when you've got like a nice basis, then you can just pick up new kanji through words. And you don't have to worry about Anki even. Like, I don't use Anki anymore. I haven't used Anki in like 10 years, but I'm still learning new words. I don't know new words. You can just start reading, and if you've learned a bunch of kanji this way, individually, and then you learn words for them, you start to recognize the differences in kanji right away. And when you're reading, you'll see a new word, and maybe you can pick up the meaning just because you notice the part on the left, which often indicates the meaning, without actually knowing what the kanji is. So it gives you a huge advantage when reading. So if you know all the parts, and you know that when person on the left is there, it often indicates a meaning of something people do. When you know that, you might have an idea of what the kanji might mean. Or if you know that, for example, what is a I can't think of one off the top of my head, but like if a certain part is in the kanji, it's often read a certain way. If you know those little details without actually knowing a kanji that you've seen for the first time, you can often read it and know what it means just by knowing all these parts and stuff. So getting that basis before just learning words is super, super beneficial, I think, in the long term, and makes learning just words in context way, way easier down the line than if you just started learning words to learn kanji. So that's what I think the major benefit is, I think, from doing it this way in the beginning. So like up to like M3. After that, just read. And don't use Anki. Screw Anki at that point. You don't need Anki anymore. People get really, really stuck on Anki, and they see that they have 1,000 reviews or 2,000 reviews to do by the time they get past N4, and they feel like they can't stop using Anki until they get that to 0, but it'll never get to 0. So you use Anki for like the first year or two. And when you have way too many reviews, you're spending like 3 hours a day on Anki, it's no longer worth it. Just read or just watch stuff. And you will pick up new words in kanji that way later on. And you'll be able to do that much easier if you start with learning kanji on their own in the beginning. At least that's my position. I'm happy to hear other positions, of course, but that seems to be what's worked for me and a lot of other people as well. So, okay. So there's a lot of comments there.
Hi.
We've got, let's go ahead and learn how to type this one.
はい。じゃあ、タイプね。なんか今のアンディのやつの話だと、話に付け加えてなんですけど。
She wants to add to my points there.
なんかそのさ、これは絶対何々のジャンルだっていうカテゴリーが分かるやつが、はっきり分かるやつがね、あるじゃないですか。
She says there's some kind of kanjis that you know that it belongs to a certain genre, for example.
その辺とかに出てくるやつね。
Right. Ones that show up on like the left.
まだこれはやったよね。この金について、そうプラスこういう風に出てくるのは何かお金とか宝石に関係がある言葉ですね。
So when you see, for example, gold on the left, you know it's going to have something to do with either money or some kind of metal or gem or something like that. So you know as soon as you see that what that kanji is going to be related to, even if you've never seen the kanji before.
そうアンディが言ったその人弁、人に関係あるやつはものすごくいっぱいあって、読むのが結構大変なんですけど、この木とプラスこっち側にあるやつは、ほとんどがね、木の種類の名前とか、植物の名前とかに使われてるのが多いから。
And then when you see tree on the left, you often know that it has something to do with plants or tree names or some kind of plant name. Another one is a fish. If you see the fish radical, pretty much anywhere in a kanji, there's almost no situation where seeing this on the left or somewhere else where the kanji isn't the name of a fish or something to do with fishing or fish. So knowing these things instead of just learning a word on its own is a huge benefit.
そういうのがね、これはね結構ねお寿司屋さんに行くとね書いてあるやつがあって面白いかもしれません。まあでもそのねこの部分だけでちょっと漢字のカテゴリーがわかる。
Yeah, you'll know the category pretty quickly.
そうそう。
I'm at 720 kanji with RTK, and I'm doing Anki vocab deck simultaneously since around 600 kanji. Nice. That'll get you a long ways. The only issue with RTK that I found is that he does not teach kanji in any way related to their usefulness. So you're going to learn a bunch of kanji that you'll probably never see in the first 720, and you're going to learn some that are like you should have learned on day one in the 2000s. So that's one issue that I had with RTK, and another reason why I started switching to my own method. So that's one thing to keep in mind with RTK. But it still gets you a nice base for understanding kanji. One of the worst kanji I've seen that I can't even read from my monitor without scaling is... Jesus. Oh, okay, yeah, that's utsu, right? For depression. Yeah, I watch Japanese news streams on YouTube in the evening, and I get listening kanji practice at the same time. Nice. All right, so we're going to learn how to type this one. It's pretty easy.
チャーズさんはいろいろ言ってくれてますね。この長い
Actually, just naga will get it for you.
本当？もう長で出ちゃう？
If you just type naga, you don't even need the e and to delete. Naga will get it for you in the second or third one.
はい。
So you do not have to type nagai. Yes, that is the plan, Greg. I may go beyond that if people really, really, really want us to, but it's a huge amount of effort to make the Anki decks and this series in general, like massive amount of effort. That's like our whole life, both of ours, whole life for the past year. So whether or not we can actually like persevere past N3 is a question, and whether or not it's been useful. Like when you get to that point, you can really just start reading. So, but if people really, really want us to continue into N2, we will consider it.
はい。ちょうどね、チャーズさんが出してくれたんで、この鉛筆の鉛っていう字は鉛という感じでですね。
Lead. This is from pencil.
そう。ジンクじゃないの？
Lead.
レッドか。
Namari is lead.
じゃあ、まあでもそれが鉱物に関係あるものだよね。
Right. Well, of course, lead is a type of metal, so
That has to do with a type of
スペル
metal.
書けない
L-E-A-D.
スペル書けない L-E-A-D
And then here's
うん
silver.
はいシルバー書けるよ、
Mm-hmm.
ちょっと難しいこれ
V-E-R. V-E-R.
ちょっとこれ
I don't know this one.
これ8ってプ
Ah,
ラント
okay,
ポ
okay.
ット
Yeah,
の
plant
8
holder. A plant.
そう
pot
あれ
holder.
なんだっけあれ8はポットなんだけど赤い土のことだよね、
Flower pot.
うん、
Yeah,
そう
yeah.
そう
The red ones in
ああいう
specifically.
焼いてあるセラミックみたいな
A
やつだよ
ceramic
ね
flower pot, the orange
そう
ones.
そう
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
でもこれだけで普通はフラワーポットとはい
There you go, flower pot. Yeah, so there's, knowing that can help you a long way.
そうそうこの金っていう字がねあると
Dan says, I love editing these videos, but I might quit at 80,000 kanji. Yeah, and it would take us like 40 years at least.
この長いさ蝶やりますか
Yeah, night.
はいあ長崎出してくれてるよ長崎
Yeah, it's a good one. Nagasaki or Nagano, where we live.
Hi.
Nagano. Naga? No. No is like a
yard
no, not quite. It's like a valley. Not a valley. What's the word I'm thinking of? A meadow.
あ
So
あ
it's like a long meadow.
じゃあ長野
Which is funny because I grew up in a place called Great Meadows, and now I live in a place called Long Meadow.
ちょっとこれ
It's
つ
kinda
かんく
wild.
なってきた緑でいくか
I never thought of that. But that's kind of funny.
長野あと長崎ですね長崎ね
I guess no would actually be more like
Nagasaki
plain or field. But you could totally think meadow as well. But I never thought of that. That's super weird. I grew up in Great Meadows and I now live in Long Meadows, but in Japanese. Or Long Plains. So if you come to Japan and head to Nagano, do we get to visit you, Andy? You might. You might run into me somewhere. My favorite comedian is Tim Meadows. That'd be wild. The Great Meadows of New Jersey. That is it. Yep. Numbers follow me. I lived at 3 places that ended in 01 in the street address. Yeah, Nagasaki gets you there. Nagano. All those. Mm-hmm.
もしさ日本にね多分遊びに来たりしたらなんかホテルの住所とかをさなんかイミグレーションカードに書かなきゃいけないじゃないですか、それ練習しとくといいかもね
Practicing the name of the place where you're going to be staying in kanji, because you have to write that on the card when you arrive in Japan. Yeah.
であとああいうさなんかホテルとか空港に荷物を送るときとか、
when you're sending your
そうそう
your luggage to another hotel. But in fairness, you can write it in English.
まあね
But,
確かに
But yeah, if you write it in Japanese,
はい
you get a nice boost.
英語でもいけてます
Morbid Blessing says he wants to see my band play when they're in Japan. We actually have a live show on March 30th. One of our first in a while. In a little tiny live house here in Nagano. So, all right. So let's go ahead and pop back over to the video. If you find that too confusing, please share the story you created for this kanji or any of the other kanji down in the comments. Which brings us to the Lesson 23 quiz. Maybe. In this section of the video, I'll show you a flashcard with the English meaning for a kanji. Pause the video when we show each card and try to remember how to write that kanji. Next, write it on your hand with your finger or on a piece of paper. Then press play and see if you were right. The best way to remember kanji you just learned is to search your memory for the story we taught you or the one you made based on the English word on the flashcard. Our first card is outside.
Oh.
Outside. Let's see what we got. Who's going to get there first? I'm glad to hear that, Amanda.
これさこれ今日のやつ作っとけどさ使うときないまさか
ないね We'll see. But we'll keep those over here for now. We got enemies to fish first with some sweat popping off from all the practice he did earlier. Awasabi is second. Solo Q. Drew is in third. Brittany is in fourth. Come to Japan Dan in fifth. Five Toes Sloth Bear in sixth. Montana Margo in seventh. Chaz in eighth. Kaylee in ninth. I'll be in Osaka in the 30th. Ooh, nice. And Amanda, but you still got there in 10th. Allie is in 11th. And Morbid Blessing in 12th. Very good job.
みんないいですね早いなあ今日も2枚引いていいんですよね
Of course. Yuki said, is it still okay for me to pull out 2 kanji cards today? And of course, the answer is yes.
新しいやつにしたいな
She'd like to pull out a new one. You could throw them in there. Let's just throw the ones in from today just to see.
同じやつ出ちゃうかもしれないよ。
It's possible, but that'll throw people off. That's weird.
じゃあ
What are you using, Morbid Blessing? What kind of device? Lazy Squid is also there in 13th place. Very nice job.
よし
All right. Oh. Oh. Oh.
はい行きたい
I
と思います。
allowed Yuki to put the cards in from today's kanji because there won't be any lessons where we'll be doing a quiz from just the meanings from N5 again. Well, maybe we'll throw them in when we get to N4. We'll see. But anyway,
ボキャブ
you're
ラ
about to
リー
get
の方
one.
で
Mm.
じゃあ行きたいと思い
I'm on
ま
an
す。
iPad. iPad could be a little difficult, maybe. I'm not sure. Hi. お願いします。
はい。
Hi. Tall and south. Tall and south. One from a while ago, or maybe a couple weeks ago, and one from today.
おー
And Meets the Fish. And Meets the Fish is in first with Come to Japan Dan in second. Brittany in
素晴らしい。
third. Kaylee in fourth.
はい
Awasabi in not quite.
惜しい。
Not
ロ
quite.
ングですそれロング。
Allie gets the first one. Amanda gets the second one and the third one, so that's
素晴らしい。
fifth place right there. Five-Toed Sloth Bear is in sixth. That is correct. And Morbid Blessing is in seventh.
難しい漢字が出てきたね。
It doesn't show with none. It should, but it might not show up for a while. Although, let's see. None for me. How many times does it take for none to show up for me? None. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the fifth for me. Montana Margot gets the South kanji right there. If you're combined with Ali, you can get 7th or 8th place. All right. Very good job. You guys did well on those. I didn't actually show you. What? there's the none. For some reason, my brain blanked on tall.
なんだ
Outside. Forgot to show you guys what outside looks like. There it is. The fortune tellers only go outside with their fortune telling rods in the evening, ideally before dark, because that's the most magical time. Next is long. There it is. There's 7th for Montana Margot. And I believe 8th for Solo Q Drew. Oops, stepped away. Hi, Emmy's the Fish gets first with Come to Japan Dan in second. Solo Q Drew in third. Amanda in fourth. Chaz in fifth. Allie in sixth. Five-Toed Sloth Bear in seventh. Brittany in eighth. Kaylee in ninth. Morbid Blessing in 10th. All right.
いいですね。
I'm doing a little better at remembering counts today. Finally, on the last lesson.
お、長男出た。
Chonan deta ne. Montana Margot gets there as well in 11th. Very good job. Let's go ahead and take a look at this kanji.
はい。
Long. Remember our long conveyor belts from Good? Well, this kanji shows combs for long hair going down long conveyor belts.
ちなみにアンディも長男です。
I am Chonan. Chonan means the oldest son. Chinamini Yuki, what is the oldest daughter, which is what you are?
長女。
Chomage.
長まげ。
Chomage is that ponytail with the bald side shaved out on top of samurais' heads. Samurais and, I guess, sumo wrestlers' heads, eh?
うん。
Hi,
相撲レスラーじゃない
Chonan だよね。
侍じゃない？
Chonan
うん
is
そう
brother and oldest brother, and
長女。
Chojo is oldest daughter. Chojo.
Second oldest
Second oldest or middle daughter is,
Hi.
there is a word for it.
次女です。
Jijo.
次女。うん、それそれ。次女。
Jijo.
そう。
The
次。
kanji is tsugi, next daughter.
うん。
And then the youngest daughter actually has a word as well.
次男です。
Jinan. Oh, that's no. Okay, I'm sorry. Jinan is middle son. Youngest daughter is the one I was going for next.
そう、ヤンゲストっていう言い方はね、その兄弟の数によって違うんですよ。
Oh, it's different depending on the number of kids. Okay.
そう。だから、次はね、3になっちゃうの全部。
Oh.
もし兄弟が3人いれば、三男か三女になるんですけど、もし4人とか5人だったら、なんか4女。
Oh,
Gojo.
so they just add the number for whichever sibling they are.
そう。だからヤンゲストというやつがないんですね。
Okay, so there's no such thing as youngest. It's just whatever number in line you are. The only ones that apparently they care about that have their own names are the oldest and the next to oldest. All right. 私も長男です says five toes up there. Nice. And only daughter. That would just be 長女。
そうそうそう。長女なんだけど、一人っ子という言い方があります。
一人っ子。
そう、only child は
is a word for not just only daughter, it's only child. 一人っ子。
まあテクニカリー長男か長女なんですけどね。
Twins is 双子。
はい。
双子。十女。十女。Or would that be
東女？すごいよ。
十女。
十女かな東女かな
東女。
ちょっとなかなか言わないんでわからない。
Very, very rare, so I'm not sure which one it is. All right, this is going to be mine to pick.
はい。
Let's see what we've got.
お。
I'm not...
嫌だったん、いや、
ちょっと too
人
new.
に
Too
文
new.
句を。
So, well, Yuki always does it, so I figure I can too. Hi. Our next words are weeds and electricity. Weeds and electricity.
おー、ポケモンみたいですね。
Yes, a grass and electric type Pokemon. Owlsabi gets there in first with the grass electric type Pokemon, and Meets the Fish is in second. Solo Q Drew gets the second kanji. Come to Japan Dan in third. Ali in fourth. I'm back. Good day to all. Konnichiwa. Mochi Ball. How's it going? Amanda gets there in fifth place. Very good job. Montana Margot has the second one as well. I can't remember and electricity. I don't know if my sentence was correct or not, says Amanda. Watashi no tomodachi futago ga imasu. Oh, your sentence was correct. My friend has twins. Unless you meant that your friend is a twin, then it's not quite right. But if you mean that your friend has twins, then you're perfectly okay. A grass telephone, says Come to Japan Dan. Two of my favorite kanji, says Alsabi. Nice. Morbid Blessing gets there as well, and I believe sixth place. Fifth place, maybe? No, she has twins. Okay, she has twins. So you are correct. How do we type weeds again? Kusa. Kusa. Which can also mean LOL. LOL in Japanese. Kusa.
Kusa.
Electricity you can write as den. In fact, that is the only way to write electricity. There's no other ways. Den.
はい。ピカチュウですね、こちらは。
So. Pika Pika. I thought LOL was, yes, that is also LOL, but it's an older one. The newer LOL, modern LOL is Kusa. I've explained why that is in a few live streams, I think, and there's a progression to why it became grass that is very logical, actually. So originally, LOL was, exactly as you said, Kisolo Kyuju, warao, which is the kanji for to smile or to laugh. But then people just started typing WW, as in the first W that you type when you type warao, because warao is kind of a pain in the neck to type. So people would just type WW or WWWWW if they have if they're really laughing hard. That would be like LMAO, right? But if you look at someone laughing really hard, if you look at it closely like this, you notice that it kind of just looks like a bunch of grass growing. So people started writing, when they noticed that, kusa for grass.
はい。
Because this, kusa, is faster to write than 5 W's. Maybe not, but it's funnier. So kusa represents this. Grass. And then some people, you'll notice in online forums, they'll just type kusa, just like that, in hiragana, which has like no reference to the original. But yeah, that is the progression of LOL in Japanese.
そうそう。ね、そのプログレッションがあるよね。そのいくつもの過程を超えて。
It's kind of crazy. It's fun. Gotta run. Can't take on and Meets the Fish this week. Hopefully next week. Have a good day, evening, friends. See you later, Brittany.
はい。
Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. All right, so you guys got it. Let's go ahead and tap back over to just a few more. Here's East. East is our next kanji.
Hi,
You're very welcome, Brittany. Thank you for hanging out with us every time. Appreciate it. Alsabi is in first with Come to Japan Dan in second, and Meets the Fish in third. Soloku Drew in fourth, Ali in fifth, Amanda in sixth place.
Hi.
Kaylee in seventh, Morbid Blessing in eighth, Five Toes Sloth Bear in ninth. And Montana Margot gets there as well in 10th
with a tree as well. Nice. Excuse me. Oh man, I was looking for a screenshot I took of a new thing people use for laughing. LOL. Is there something else?
マジ？新しいやつになった？
I feel my new keyboard has made me faster. Oh yeah. Come Japan Dan got a similar keyboard to the one I've got. Now he's super speedy. They're good, right, Dan? I'm glad you're enjoying it. All right, let's go ahead and see what this one looks like. Hi. East. The sun shines through the trees to the east when it's coming up, specifically, eh? I'll have to go too. Almost midnight here. Sleep well, Allie.
ね、
Have
あ
a
り
good
が
one.
とうございます。
We might have to consider pushing the stream earlier for people since the new videos are going to be even longer.
そうだよね。
They're going to be quite long.
やばいよね。
30-minute videos,
うん。
which means the live streams, my goodness.
はい。
It's going to be like a 24-hour
本
live
当
stream.
だよ
Not
ね。
quite.
チルタイムないよね、絶対。
Paul C says, Higashi, first time attending a live. Came across your vids recently. Glad to see what I've learned so far is coming to some good use in these quizzes. Nice, Paul. Thanks for hanging out.
ありがとうございます。
Earlier would be lovely, says Amanda. See, it's hard. We used to wake up a little bit later than we are recently. So any earlier than this would have been very difficult for us. But it might be possible as summer is coming. So we'll think about that. Daylight savings time messed up the timing. Yes, it will. And then it'll mess it up again when the winter comes. But we'll see.
いつ変わってるの？スマホってさ、変わる瞬間見たことある？
It changes at midnight, I believe, or at 1 in the morning.
ミッドナイトにならず。
It comes back. No, I think at like 1 it goes back to midnight. I'm not sure.
ああ。
Something like that.
じゃあ。
2 a.m. Oh, it changes at 2 a.m. apparently.
へえ。
Summer's coming. Who needs winter? Agreed. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next two kanji. Yeah, it's 11:49 p.m. here in KY. Makes me sad because sumo is on till 5 a.m. Oof. It will mess up unless they decide to keep GST. I wish they would.
はい。
Yeah, I might do something like that, solo Kyuju. That's what I was thinking. Maybe 10 a.m. for us would be a nice difference. That'll give us an extra 30 minutes. The video will start 30 minutes early, but the live stream will only start like a little bit earlier, but that will somehow make it work out, maybe. That's probably a good idea, like starting at 10 instead of 10:30 for us. Okay, new kanji.
はい。じゃじゃん。
Rain and Jewel. Rain and Jewel.
あ、惜しい。
Oh, very, very close.
もう
Very,
合って
very
るけど
close.
惜
It's
しい。
not bad, Phineas. That's pretty much it. But the one we used as Jewel in this series is the one Awasabi popped up. So Awasabi's in first. Em eats the fish in second. Kaylee in third. Ame don't know yet, says Paul. Come to Japan Dan is in fourth. Amanda Nordstrom in fifth. Montana Margot gets the second one there. Five-Toed Sloth Bear in sixth. And Montana Margot gets the next one for, I believe, seventh place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. Yes, there you go. So solo Phineas, you were super close. That one means treasure, not quite just jewel. But it does have jewel inside of it. Jewel or ball, either way. This could mean jewel or ball. You'd type this one as tama.
はい。
Fifth seems to be my lucky number.
たま。
That's basically means you're super fast. It's just your latency exactly puts you in fifth. You're probably all pressing enter at almost the exact same moment. But And Meets the Fish has like $5,000 a month internet. Come to Japan, Dan. That is close, but not quite. But I see you already got it up there anyway.
そのさ、
Morbid Blessing is in 8th place. I know Tama never knew it was a jewel. Yeah, it can be used for jewel, for like for Hoseki, for jewels.
そう、宝石
And、
まあね、これが入ってるんだよね。この
そう
うかんむりに、これが入ってんだよね。
そうそう
この
for
玉
treasure ね。
のところが。そう。でもこれだけでも同じ。
Yes.
まあ、意味が同じ。こっちの方が宝石
Right,
の
Hoseki,
treasure の方に使われます。
The word Hoseki
Mm.
is you could think of as a treasure stone, a treasure stone. So not just a jewel, but like a stone that is treasured, also known as a jewel. All right, very good job, guys. Let's pop back over to the video. And then there's West. There you go. And Meets the Fish is in first. Aosabi in second. Come to Japan Dan in third. Solo Q Drew in fourth. Very nice. Hoseki Bijo. Five-Toed Sloth Bear in 5th, Morbid Blessing in 6th, Kaylee in 7th, Montana Margot in 8th, Amanda Nordstrom in 9th place. Very good job. Dagnabbit, it's on another screen.
はい。みんな
That'll get you.
みんな素晴らしいな。
The weird story about mouth. There you go. All right. Remember, not the one with the music. My internet doesn't like me today. Keeps reverting to the latency to 2.5 seconds. なんでだろうね。これが俺だね。
はい。なんか森生えてる。森生えてるよ。草を通り越して森になってる。
All right. Instead of the village people, we have the village man. Village man. Young man. Do 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 do.
あ、素晴らしい。
There you go. Phineas is in first with Solo Q Drew. Not quite. That is Town. Those are easy to get mixed up. Come to Japan Dan also mixed up a little bit. Emmy's the Fish gets there in second place with Kaylee in third. Montana Margot has the first one there. Amanda Nordstrom in fourth. There you go. There's the 5th place for Montana Margot. Very nice job. Five-Toed Sloth Bear is in 7th. I also typed Town, so I just gave up. Oh well. Does river plus west equal alcohol? Yeah, not quite river, just water. Water on the left. So water on the left is
West
water on the left, eh?
え
But it's not quite. Is it west?
ああ、そうだわ。ウエストだわ。あ、
でもこれだよね。
鳥
So it's
だわ。
not quite west. It has an extra line in it.
確かに。
But it's very similar to west, but with an extra line.
これ
And this part on the left is just what water looks like on the left.
それ
I think this looks like a smiley.
ちょっと調べるわ。それなんて読むのか。
So it's like a little smiley, smiley water Pokemon. You pop on the left. And this means alcohol
あー
or sake.
はい。やっぱり鳥、
うん
鳥という字があっ
これ
て、
鳥
そうそう、それがね。
This one on its own is never,
そう
never really
こ
seen.
れは、使われてるのは、そのチャイニーズゾディアックの
Ah, yes, yes,
漢
yes.
字
It's
は
used in
こ
the
れ
Chinese
鳥、
zodiac. Yeah.
鳥こ
For
の
the
漢
for
字
the
で
bird.
書きます。
うん
でもこの字はお酒に関するのが多いんだって。
うん
お
oh,
酒
yeah,
に
yeah, yeah.
関するものの名前にこれがついている
This
こ
is
とが多
often
い。
used in kanji that have to do with
へー
alcohol.
はい。
Possibly because it makes you fly like a
う
bird.
ん
Wait, isn't that Red Bull? Is there alcohol in Red Bull? That's weird. Indeed, indeed.
そう、It's sign of the bird, I
That is
think.
it, yeah.
そう、合ってます。
I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Muda is important for people who want to know the true heart of Japan. Edo Muda Wonderland. I think I've been there before. Edo Muda.
え
That's
どこ
in
にあるの
Tochigi だよね. In Tochigi.
え、
I believe.
知らない。ドイツ村しか知らない。
I think in Edo Muda is in. I believe it's in Tochigi. Yeah, it's in
へ
Tochigi.
え、江戸村ワンダーランドというところがあるんだ。
Hmm. I have actually been
Hey.
there many, many years ago. It's pretty cool. Although, the one thing I felt about it is that you can actually experience like towns that are still like this. You don't have to go to like a theme park for it. It's cool. It wasn't bad. But I felt like I've been to towns like this before. There's nothing like, I don't know. There's still places that look just like this. That's all. That's all I have to say about that. But it was kind of cool. All right.
へえ、日光江戸村はこれなんだ。
Here's north. It is in Nikko, yes. There you go, Awasabi.
Hi.
And Meets the Fish is in second. Awasabi in first. Phineas in third. Amanda in fourth. Five-Toed Sloth Bear in fifth. True to the Name. Kaylee in sixth. Come to Japan Dan in seventh. Morbid Blessing in eighth. Solo Q Drew in ninth. Lots of songs in my head tonight. Montana Margot gets there as well in 10th place. Very good job, guys. Boom. It's 2 people at the North Pole sitting back to back because it's cold. So cold.
寒いのはちょっと嫌ですね。あ、これ
次雪かな
私じゃなかったわ。
そうそうそう。
私が書くんじゃないんだ。
そう、
これ
書くんじゃないんですよね。
これ選ぶんだわ、これ。
Good morning from the Netherlands,
はい
Randy.
ありが
Thanks
と
for
うござい
stopping by.
ます。
Hope you're having a good day over there.
お、
Good evening, I guess.
来たぜ、この。
Oh, there we
よ
go. We've got an actual word.
はい、いきますよ。
Left foot. Left foot.
いいですよ、これ。
左足,
さ
yes.
すが。
And meets the fish in first. Solo Q Drew in second. Alasabi in third. Phineas in fourth. Five-toed sloth bear in fifth. Kaylee in sixth. Come to Japan Dan in seventh. Chaz in eighth. Amanda in ninth. Very good.
はい。
Left foot.
ね、実際ね、言いますから。
ね。
あ、左足が痛い。左足が痛いって言いますからね。
There's a second kanji for Montana Margot. Indeed.
はい。
My fourth Japanese class on Monday would not be more excited. Your channel has been helping me so much so far as well. So happy to hear that, Randy. Thank you so much.
ありが
Put
と
your
うご
left
ざい
foot
ます。
in, put your left foot out, do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around.
え、そんな
I've
歌う
sung
の
that song so many times since I used to be an English teacher. 早速。
それ多分ね、左足を多分早速って
そうだね、早速。
読んだ
そうだね、早速。
よね。普通は読みません。
And finally, there's South. South, and there you go, Montana Margot. You got the 10th place right there. South is our final word. And
青サ
the
ビ
first one is Alsabi in first, Emmy the Fish in second, Amanda Nordstrom in third. Gotta head out to more blessing midnight for me and work in the morning. Sleep well and have a good day at work
は
tomorrow.
い、ありがとうございます。
Come to Japan Dan in fourth place. Will Kido is in 11th for Hidariashi, and Solo Q Drew is in fifth place for Minami. Morbid Blessing in sixth, Kaylee in seventh, and Montana Margot in eighth. Come to Japan Dan says Southern Foot. Southern Foot. Five-toed sloth bear as well in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th place there. All right, very good job. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one. Oh, hey, that's me. It is indeed. It is indeed. You automatically get first place just for having your name there. I'd be interested in hearing about your experience as an English teacher. How is it taught in Japan versus the United States, etc.? Ooh, we could talk about that a little bit. Let's go. Let us know how many you got right down in the comments. Yeah, so I've done many different things in Japan as far as English teaching goes. For the first year and 10 months, for 2 years, I was an Eikaiwa teacher, which is an English conversation school, after school English conversation school. So basically kids would come from like kindergarten and high school. After around 4 o'clock is when they'd start showing up in the afternoon, and I'd teach till around 9 p.m. It was a very major English school, and it was kind of fun. It got me got my foot in the door, and it got me used to teaching kids. But after 1 year, you just cycled around and started doing the same things again, so it became extremely boring after 1 year because you just kept doing the same thing. You'd plan like 7 lessons, and then you just do the same 7 lessons all week. Because you'd have groups of the same age of kids showing up. And sometimes you'd have an adult earlier in the day. And then and Saturdays would be a nightmare because so many people would come on those days. So you'd have way too many lessons. But then the second year, you just do the same lessons that you'd already planned. Maybe make them a little bit better because you became a better teacher. But you had no planning left. So you'd have like 3 or 4 hours every morning where you're just sitting in the office. Sometimes I'd go out and like hand out pamphlets in I'd like slip them in people's doors as an excuse to explore the town. But what was nice about it is you could stay up really late. So you could stay up to like 4 a.m. and you'd still be fine the next day. So I could go out and meet people if I wanted to after work. And what was also nice is when I decided to really start learning Japanese, I'd wake up at 8 and I'd study for 4 hours and then I'd go to work and I'd be fine. So I was able to study 4 hours in the morning every day. And then a little bit at night after I came home, or I could go meet people and actually practice Japanese. So that was nice. But then I got bored with that, so I became a kindergarten teacher, not an English teacher. And I did that for 3 or 4 years as a kindergarten homeroom teacher. So I would just teach kindergarten, but in English, to Japanese kids. And that was really fun. That was super involved, and there was so much in that. It would take me hours to tell you about what that was like. And that was a very enjoyable job. And then I left Japan for a year, and I worked at City Hall in Auckland, New Zealand. And then when I came back, because I was going to become a monk, but then I didn't do that, so I moved in with Yuki in New Zealand. and we did stuff there. And I worked in City Hall, and then I came back and I did the kindergarten again for a year because they wanted me back. So I went and taught there for a year. Then I quit that job when I found out I got another job offer for a place that was very few hours, but it was teaching like just eikaiwa to. It was teaching like 2 hours a week in a high school, and then 4 hours a month in a kindergarten, and then 4 hours a month in the evening. Or not 4 hours a month, 4 nights a month, and 4 mornings a month. And then 1 morning a week. It was super easy as far as like time schedule. And I took that job because I was getting into YouTube, so it gave me more time to work on the Patreon and the YouTube and stuff. So that one, there's nothing really exciting to tell you about that job. I only took that job so that I could focus on this. And then now I do this. I need to interview you. Anyway, that was my life. You can learn the next 5 kanji by clicking here, if the video is already out. If you don't want to wait, you can continue learning with our... How much grammar do they teach in Japan? I'm curious, like parts of speech, and do they... in like actual school, they teach too much grammar, I think, and way too difficult of vocabulary. It's not useful for the kids, beyond maybe passing a test. But in eikaiwa, they only do patterns. They do speech patterns. So they'll learn a sentence or two and like a response to that. And as they get older, maybe they'll learn two questions and responses each lesson. So no grammar in that. The Japanese teachers will teach the grammar separately for kids who are trying to just cram for school. But in school, it's just straight up really difficult grammar and really difficult words, no speaking. That's how it is in actual school. Almost no speaking. Except when like the actual native English teacher comes in like once a month or something, and then they do or once a week, depending on the school system. And then they'll do a quote speaking lesson. But even sometimes those English teachers will just teach grammar, but not much. Like you're not a real English teacher if you come to teach English in Japan as a foreigner. You're like they call us, what do they call us? They call us clowns or entertainment monkeys for the kids to just sort of entertain them. We don't really teach English.
それはね、多分あなたのね、高校
No. That's the joke of all the Jets, all the English teachers over here. Eikaiwa as well. The kindergarten was different. Kindergarten, I was an actual teacher. That was straight up. That was real teaching. But not English. I didn't teach English. I just taught like crafts and writing and stuff like that. No, it's not very helpful, Amanda, at all. Real English teachers in Japan are Japanese. No, exactly. Our level 1 kanji flashcard deck for Anki on ToKiniAndy.com. We're also releasing kanji series videos early for all the members there. I have no idea. Check it out if you want a head start. We can't get certifications in Japan, although you can get like TEFL and stuff like that, but you could do that overseas.
Certifications は for Japanese ってこと?
For actual Japanese teachers to teach English? I don't know.
どうなん Teach English の方は全く多分ないよね。
Not for English, not for native English teachers, no. Your qualification to teach English in Japan is speak English natively.
あとプラスその大学を卒業してないと
And you have to graduate. You can't get a visa in Japan unless you have graduated from university. Anyway, yeah, so that was that. All right. Well, that's it, guys. We finished N5 writing and meaning section. We made it, says a comment on the YouTube video, Shano YouTube. Yep. That's it. We finished it. So hubby can get a visa and I can get one through him. That is correct. That is possible. Yep. We did it. That's 118 kanji down and all of their parts. We've learned the meanings and how to write them.
はい。みんな頑張ったね。お疲れ様でした。
And not just the kanji for the N5. You've also learned all the kanji for the Kanken level 10, which means you know exactly as many kanji as a native Japanese student who has finished their first year of elementary school. And that means you could also very likely, well, no, you can't pass the test yet because the next section of this series where we learn how to read and read words
You need that. But when we finish the 18 videos in that series, you'll be able to pass the very first test that a native Japanese person would take for kanji when they finish their first year of elementary school. Yeah. 6 or 7, actually, Five Toes Sloth Bear.
そうだね。
Do we get a class party? I wish.
7か、
Probably
そうだね。
7-ish.
7
7 years old. Yeah, you when we're
7
finished.
かな 7?
Because you start elementary school when you're
そっか。
6, and you'll finish. Most people will be 7 when they finish their first year of elementary
う
school.
ん。だけど最初のさ、ね、10ヶ月ぐらい、半年くらいは
Just
漢字やら
katakana
ない。
and
うん、
hiragana,
ひ
ne?
らがなカタカナやって
Right.
るから。
So you'll be 7 years old. You'll be at a 7-year-old level
うん。
when we're finished with the next part. So that's cool. And you'll be able to pass the N5 most likely. So from next week,
はい。
we're jumping. We're not doing a party next week, although it's kind of a party. We're jumping right into the words video. I just rendered the first words video. I was hoping to get out the words video a little bit earlier, but then I turned off our server by accident when we left for 10 days. So we couldn't get into the server, and Dan couldn't get a bunch of files that he needed, and
Yeah.
and I couldn't check it because we were away. And also, but not just that, it wasn't just incompetence that led to this. It was also because we kept making little changes to the first video because I want to get it just right. Because like this is going to set the tone for the next 18 videos and possibly all of the videos for words in N4. So I wanted to get it to a way that we would all be happy with it. And I think it's good. I think it's really good. I don't know, like, we'll see. Like, you guys will have to tell me if it's useful. But so I'm putting. That's actually something I wanted to ask some of you. I don't know how many of you here right now are members of the website, but I'm releasing that video on the website later today. So tomorrow for you guys. If you could have a look at it and see if you think it's good, give some feedback before we actually go live next week. That would be super, super helpful. If you notice anything that's like super stupid, let us know and maybe we can change it in time. But yeah, it'll be live later today. I just have to make the thumbnail. I haven't decided on a thumbnail for the series yet, but it'll be up. So that's exciting. Oh, ne.
はい。そう。まあね。読み方はいっぱいあるけど、結構そのね、読み方、言葉シリーズ
You don't have to do that, Minami.
言葉シリーズはオルタナティブに使えそうなフレーズを結構出してるから、まあもう暗記デックをやってくれてる人はねもう知ってるんですけど、そうそれのプラスボーナスセンテンスも全部ついていき、
For those of you who have
予
done
定です。
the Anki deck, you'll know a lot of the sentences, but we've also added bonus sentences, extra sentences
そう
to each of them, so you can sort of get an idea, even a better idea of how the word fits into sentences, and to give those of you who have done the Anki deck a little bit of extra exposure. So lots of Japanese. You're gonna get lots of exposure. You're gonna learn some grammar. You're gonna learn how to use Japanese dictionaries, Japanese to Japanese. So in live streams, we're going to be breaking down actual definitions from Japanese grammar dictionaries, because I've found more and more as time goes by that just giving you a single English meaning for a word is just wildly, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not enough. There's a word for that. Wildly.
ちょっとわかりません。私には多分
Not
わかり
enough.
ます。
Insufficient. There it is. It's wildly insufficient. And Japanese to English dictionaries, that's it. There it is, Greggles. Thank you. Inadequate. Yes, I'll look you through. There's a good
英
word.
語上手だぜ。
It's wildly inadequate, wildly insufficient, and a lot of times sort of wrong. Like I've noticed Japanese to English dictionaries just keep copying each other from the JMDICT. That's open source in the internet, and some of them are just like, not really. It's not quite that. It's not quite the right word or something. But then you go and look in like an actual Japanese to Japanese dictionary, which actually describes the word like you'd expect in a regular dictionary. And it's like, oh, well, that makes a lot more sense. So I've approached it in the new series as instead of giving you just the one word, which I do have a single meaning that we do choose for the Anki deck, we describe what the word means, which sometimes, it makes sense as just a single English word, but sometimes it's a little deeper. So, small spoiler for dudes in chat. Native male pronunciation tidbits. Yeah. For a change, we have both Yuki's pronunciation in sentences, and we had a friend. So we have both male and female pronunciations. So you can see there's not much of a difference, but there will be some slight differences in the way a guy and a girl would say some things. So that'll be interesting. We're also going to be not really talking about it much, but we'll be including pitch accent in the video, which we did not do on the Anki deck yet. I may add it later on when we do the first update, which will come out when we release N4. So lots of exciting stuff.
はい、こんにちは。
Konnichiwa, Jude. Konnichiwa. That was a very English konnichiwa. But anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so in the actual video, I don't actually read out the Japanese in the Japanese dictionary. I just give you the translation of the Japanese dictionary. But then in the live streams, we're going to break down the Japanese in the dictionary. So you'll learn how to read a Japanese dictionary, at least one aimed at an elementary school student, which is probably all you need anyway.
もったいないってさ、どうやって言ってる？
How do you define it in English?
も
ったいない would be like
It's too good for me to use とか
a waste. Yeah, like what Dan said there. What a waste. That's what we'd say.
ああ、それはもうなんかもうなくしちゃった時だよね。その使う前の時はなんかそのさ、なんていうの？自分には unsuitable な
We'd still say that would be a waste or something like that.
はい。
I think it pretty much covers the meaning, but in a dictionary. I've never looked it up in a Japanese dictionary. I wonder what it would actually say. もったいない but we're looking at kanji, so that's not going to work. I'm in a actual dictionary right now.
なるほど。
Search.
あと懐かしいも結構難しいんだよね。
懐かしい is one, yeah. もったいない It says 恐れ多い。
恐れ多いは I'm afraid of.
I have a lot of fears. And then
それを謙虚な気持ちが humble って感じで。
humble, okay. で、むやみに使ったり捨てたりするのは惜しい。So this is the one that was most commonly used that you guys are thinking of, which is what a waste. Using something without like taking consideration of whether it's a good time to use it or not, or throwing things out that you shouldn't, and that's a waste.
それワンワードで英語でなんて言うの？
What a waste. A waste. So yeah, I mean, obviously straight to English works sometimes, but anyway. All right, so that's next week. Next week, 30-minute premiere and a live stream with it. We'll see how it goes. And that we'll be releasing on the website later today.
ねえ、もうこれ使わないのかな？
No, we'll still be using it because there's going to be a quiz.
そうだね。
We also have papers with all the words, which you probably can't see there. But
じゃあもうパンプキンなし？もうこのカードなし？
well, not these, but it'll be words inside of here in hiragana. And then on the back will be the kanji. Maybe.
ああ、なるほどね。
Something like that, maybe.
あ、じゃあそれ後ろにひらがな書けばいいってことですね。
いや、だってこれがただの漢字じゃん。一つ。だから新しいカード作らなきゃいけないんだよね。
あ、新しいカード作るんだ。
そう。
やべえ、カードねえぞ、買わねえと。
I'm glad to hear that, Amanda.
買わないとだよ。
It's going to be a little while because I still have to work on the thumbnail. So it's going to be like later tonight. So you literally won't be able to sleep if you stay up for that. I do recommend sleeping and then maybe watching it tomorrow.
はい。
All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out this week and for the entirety of the Meanings and Writings series. It's been fun.
はい。ね、大変だったけどね、楽しかったですね。
Maybe I'll throw an announcement up on the Discord, Minami. ね、大変だったけど面白かった。
次からね、またもう一回、もう一周行くからね。
そうだね。We got lots more to cover. We are not done at all. Same time. Well, no, maybe we'll start 30 minutes earlier next week. Just because it's going to be so long. So we'll be starting at, instead of half past, we'll be starting at the hour. 30 minutes earlier than today. We want to hear your band. You probably don't, but maybe I'll play something on next week's live stream. We'll see.
はい。
All right. All right, guys. Have a wonderful week.
ありがとうございます。
see you in the next one.
はい
All right. Let's see. Where is this? Okay, there it is. That's the right one. All right. Ready?
はい
はい、お疲れ様でし
お
た。
疲れ様でした
せーの。ま
ま
た
た
次のビデオで会いましょうね。はい。See you guys!
ねまた来週は新しいから
そうね
来週またレッスン1
また来週 from
はーい
lesson 1 next time. See you later. Bye
バイ
bye.
バイ